6. Man Toga, SRS runway, auto thrust is blue. 80 knots, thrust set. 5500. 31. Rotate.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another live stream coming at you from the V1 HQ here in North Texas in the lovely iniBuilds A310. And yes, right off the bat, you can see we are dealing with the same issue every person flying Microsoft Flight Simulator is dealing with right now, and that is these servers are not online, or they're not cooperating. Basically, this aircraft is so anticipated that it has crashed Microsoft Flight Simulator servers, which it's pretty unbelievable. It's crazy. I mean, this market, this community is absolutely crazy. We're going to continue on. Here's the workaround. We're gonna have to deal with this on the ground here. Okay. Once we get off the ground, we're gonna go offline. We'll have ugly ground textures, but it'll be better than this popping up. The problem is if I turn this off right now, we lose some beautiful textures here on the ground. So we're going to deal with this little pop-up box every now and then. I'm going to show you guys a little bit around the A310. And then once we get airborne, we're going to be doing cabin tours. We're looking at wing views and stuff, so we're not going to worry about looking at the ground. So bear with me about this little service thing popping up and down. Nothing I can do about that. That's on Microsoft issues. Obviously, my internet is working just fine. I'm talking to you guys. We're in stream here. We're doing our thing. And I got to say, this airplane, I've done 2 test circuits, takeoff, land. Actually, took off, almost crashed. Basically, stick shaker and everything. Had a binding issue with my throttle. That was sorted, but I will tell you, the stick shaker's modeled, and the airplane does stall. I have confirmed those on my very first takeoff. Actually, back up. Even my first takeoff, I had to do an RTO because one of my throttles decided to roll back to idle. So that's why I had to delay the stream a little bit, but since then we are pretty much ready to go. Fingers crossed. I've got my bindings done. I'm still a little rusty in the 310, but for the most part, I think I can figure my way around this airplane. And you know, at the end of the day, I was like, well, I could either postpone the stream another couple hours or even wait till tomorrow. But I said, you know what, screw it. We're all here. You guys want to see it? I want to see it. Let's jump into this. iniBuilds is in the chat already. iniBuilds, you guys are absolutely awesome. Thank you for stopping by. Guys, this airplane, I cannot believe it's a free airplane. We're going to get into that on our way down to Cabo, but right now, let's just admire this this airplane. I'm kind of glitching into the other jet bridge here, but I mean, this is just such an iconic look. This A310, having it from X-Plane, bringing it to Microsoft now is just absolutely awesome. I've been pretty impressed with the modeling. I've picked up the enhanced. There's a PC version, I believe. You guys are probably aware of it. So if you're on PC, there's actually an enhanced free add-on file you can download. It gives you a cabin, gives you a little sharper textures, gives you a little bit cleaner textures. I've got that installed. It's looking absolutely fantastic. But I mean, this airplane is just it is stunning. It is absolutely stunning to look at. I love it. I can't wait to do some more flights in it. But let's go ahead and jump into the meat and potatoes of this airplane, right? Everyone wants to jump into the cockpit. So here we go. We're in the lovely cockpit. And I got to tell you guys, it is, if you're familiar with this cockpit from the X-Plane days, it's no slouch. It is right up there with what we had in X-Plane, what we're used to. iniBuilds came out of nowhere on X-Plane, and so they set the bar high. They actually reset the bar, in my opinion, and now that we're in Microsoft, free airplane hits the market, boom, the bar has been set again. So let's go ahead and fire it up. I'll let you guys listen to the sounds. I'll try to get to some of your questions as much as I can in chat. We got 300 people viewing already before we even get off the gate, so that's always awesome. Thank you for joining me today. Again, this online service thing is just part of Microsoft right now. We're going to try our best to ignore it. Once we get airborne, we're going to turn it off, and it'll be a much better experience for all of us, I think. The Toga binding, Team Vodka, I found it. It's under autopilot. And let me find that one for you guys right now, because you guys are going to want to know this one here. So for controls, the Toga binding, for some reason in Microsoft, it's hard to find. I don't know why they labeled it this way, but to set your Toga thrust, you need to press the Toga push button, similar like a 737. The binding itself is under autopilot, and it is auto throttle TOGA. So if you search Toga, it doesn't come up. If you search auto thrust or takeoff, it doesn't come up. It is under the autopilot auto throttle TO space GA. That's the button you need to engage your auto thrust for takeoff. That's the button I did not have engaged on my first takeoff, and I had a stick shaker off the end of Fort Lauderdale off 28 right. Almost took out some trees down there. So get that binding bound. You're going to need it if you want to use the auto thrust. It was a little bit tricky for me to find, so I just thought I would share that with you guys there. XP's in the chat. What's up, man? It's a free study level high fidelity airplane. XP, I know, man. It is. It's the fact that this airplane is free in Microsoft is, again, it's a new bar being set, right? So we got a new bar being set. The textures are right up there with the best. I mean, look, I mean, it is awesome. The texturing, the modeling, there has been no corners cut, in my opinion, and I'm speaking strictly from what we were used to seeing in the X-Plane version. I mean, when it dropped on X-Plane, it set the new bar, and it has set the bar again here for free aircraft coming into the sim. So enough about that. Let's go ahead and hop in here. Andrew, what's up, man? Good to see you. I'm trying to divvy up my attention a little bit from the chat. Ooh, that's actually a little too loud. Let me turn it down. Sorry, y'all. Divvy up my attention from the chat, and then just letting you guys hear the sounds and be part of the experience. We got external power on. Let's go ahead and do that. Absolutely awesome. You can download it. It's when you update your Microsoft, there's Sim Update 11. This comes with the update. So you update your Microsoft, and it'll be there for you when you load in, man. It is already out, Struxy. This aircraft is already out. Okay, let's go ahead and get the airplane pretty much fired up here. I'm going to get my ADIRS into nav. And I've also put my nav, my ADIRS alignment, I'll show you here in the EFB. I put it to instant, and the reason I did that is because I really want to spend minimal time on the ground today, because we have this bug here with the Microsoft servers. Once I go to offline mode, it'll be so much better. We don't have to deal with that pop-up. So I'm really just trying to kind of expedite us getting off the ground here. Let's go ahead and get our seatbelts on. No smoking into the auto position. Overhead is pretty much fine for right now. You can see we come down here to our EFB. You guys are pretty familiar with this. If you've used it in X-Plane, you'll be able to navigate your way around. I have not found a way to uplink data from here to the McDo. I'm not sure if that's implemented or not. I don't know if iniBuilds can speak to that. I'll show you how I've kind of been doing it. But it does have SimBrief integration, and I'll show you how to get that set up here right now. So we're going to put in our flight number, or excuse me, our flight plan. We're going from Los Angeles, KLAX, oops, spelled that there, KLAX to Mike, Sierra Delta. Good sounds on the McDo. They're crisp, they're clean. You guys know I'm a big stickler for sounds. We're operating this flight as Delta 357. So once I've got that in there, I'm going to go to the menu page. I'm going to go over to ACARS. You can see I've got my username now. You're going to put your username for SimBrief, and then we'll go ahead and do SimBrief request, and company route uplink has been completed. So I'm going to adjust a couple things here. We're going to do a cost index of 75 today. We're going to bump that up. Our cruise flight level is 370. I'm also going to hit the align IRS. You're going to see my aircraft instantly aligns, and that's because I have that setting already accomplished in the EFB, and I'll show you the EFB settings over here. You come down here, and this is really cool. This is where you're going to calibrate your thrust levers. You want to make sure you get your throttles calibrated. You can change your units, but right here I've got my IRS to instant, again, expediting our time on the ground tonight, or today, this afternoon. What's up, Alberto? Good to see you, man. Glad you joined the stream, my friend. All right, once I have that done, I'm going to come over here to the top. You can see our flight details now that we've loaded it from SimBrief. We're Delta 357, LA to Cabo. On this tab here, you can set your airplane ready for takeoff, GPU, APU. We're pretty much cold and dark, so that's fine. We're going to leave it. This is our door 1 left, so we're actively boarding. I'm not going to mess. We're not going to do cargo simulation today. We're not going to do any of that. Again, expediting our time on the ground. We are connected to the GPU, however, and this is also a integrated pushback that you can use, which is pretty handy, and I've already used it once, and it worked just fine. The normal checklist. So again, when you start flying airplanes that have more complex systems, more complex things that need to be done, this is going to be a big point of emphasis, I think, for especially the users on Xbox, which I can't believe that this airplane is even compatible with Xbox. I said it in my Discord. You know, when airplanes get released for both Xbox and the PC, I have reservation. And then when you tout it's going to be a high-fidelity airplane, I even get a little bit more cautious. But I said if anybody can do it, it would be iniBuilds. And sure enough, they've done it. I've been very happy with the airplane on my first couple flights. But for the newer people to flying, especially on the Xbox, this is your checklist. Make sure you get familiar with it. We're going to expedite through this today because, again, minimal time on the ground, but it's neat to have that there ready to go just with one click, and you can do it. This is where you get all your runway conditions and V speeds. I will set this up manually, and I'll show you how to get the proper numbers calculated. In the X-Plane version, we were able to then export this info right into the MCDU. Have not been able to determine that yet, but I just put it in manually, which is fine. AJ Flyer, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, man, for that. I appreciate the support. It says, I'm excited to go home and update for this aircraft. And also, hello. AJ, thank you so much for your support, man. You're going to absolutely love it. Again, free update, free airplane. Mind blowing. But let's continue to step through this here real quick. Weight and balance. So this is where you can configure it to match your SimBrief, and then you basically apply it to the airplane. So I'm going to modify what my SimBrief has because, look, we've got 400 plus viewers. Let's take a full load of people today. They're going to have a decent amount of bags just because everyone's going down to vacation. Our fuel required, according to our flight plan, is 29.5, rounded up 30,000, which is hardly anything, but we're going to bump that up because we're going to be flying a little bit cost index, a little bit higher, and I want to have a little extra gas. So let's take 65.6 on the fuel. Once that is done, I'm going to hit apply, and you can see we now have our weights. Now I'm just going to leave that page up. iniBuilds, thank you for responding. He says it's not possible in the Microsoft product at this time. Okay, so that's basically moving, I guess you're referring to being able to send takeoff numbers to the McDo. totally understandable, and honestly, it's not really a big deal. It's just like 2 extra buttons or a couple extra numbers we have to input manually, which, hey, we like to do stuff in the sim manually anyway. We like to push buttons. We're pilots. We should want to be pushing buttons. You can see here fuel pumps. We'll go over an in-depth overhead review once we get airborne. I'm going to get my yaw dampers, pitch trims, the ATS is on. These will only come on when you're fully aligned. So that's a very common question I get is how can I get my pitch trim and ATS and all that stuff to turn on? It keeps clicking off. Must be aligned on the ground. Let's go ahead and get the APU started. So we'll go master switch on, and we'll go ahead and press the APU start push button. While that is firing up, we can finish loading some of our flight plan. So importing flight plans, just like in real world, when you load a CPDLC flight plan, you don't get a departure, a SID, and a star with an approach. So even in real world, when you CPDLC flight plans, you have to go back and manually input the runway that you're departing from, the departure procedure, and then coincidentally the arrival procedure and the runway you're landing on. So don't just think because you uplink it, you're ready to take off. You can see here we need to actually put in some additional information. So let's do that now after I get to a couple really awesome supports coming in here. Max Rank, thank you so much for 34 months of support. You're absolutely favorite. Can't believe it's been this long. What a journey. Hey, Max, 34 months, dude. Hey, 2 more months, you get the new V1 Wings badge next to your name. So I appreciate the support, my friend. Thank you so much, dude. Q8 Pilot, the legend himself, guys. I am sure Q8 Pilot is going to have a full in-depth review video of this airplane. I cannot wait to watch it. I believe Q8 is building a new mega PC this weekend. Cannot wait to see the results of that, Q8. Thank you so much for your support. He says no one better than V1 to showcase this beautiful bird by iniBuilds. Well, I don't know about that. I'm going to do my best, Q8, but I appreciate the kind words, my friend. And guys, make sure you check out Q8 Pilot on YouTube. I cannot wait for his new review on this airplane. It's going to be, with your new PC, Q8, I saw you talking about it in your last stream. Going to be epic. Jarrett, thank you so much, man. Can't wait to watch this, but I don't have time right now. Catch up tonight. Have a good flight. Love your content. Jarrett, thank you, my friend, for your $5 super chat. Appreciate the support. Jeff L, gifting 5 more subs out. Jeff, thank you so much for that, dude. Appreciate the support. Guys, if you pick up a gifted sub, make sure you shout out Jeff L for that. Appreciate you, man. Mike seems quiet to you. Let me just double check. It should be good on my end. Hopefully it's just you, unfortunately, because I did have some mic issues. Let me just double check. Test, test, test. Yeah, we should be on the right microphone. All right, here we go. Departure from LAX. We are going to depart today off of 24 left for departure. And on our departure procedure, we need to do the Panda 2. We're doing the Panda 2. So we're going to go down, we'll scroll down here. Love the click sounds. I don't know why you guys are saying Mike seems quiet. Callie Simmer gifting 10 more subs. Callie Simmer, you're absolutely awesome, my friend. Thank you so much, guys. If you're new to the channel, picking up gifted subs, exclamation point, welcome for your new perks here on the channel. Absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for that, Callie Simmer. Your continued support is very, very much appreciated. Thank you. All right, so there we go. LAX 24 left. We're on the Panda departure procedure. That's going to take us all the way out. We'll kind of skip through our flight plan, make sure we don't have any discos that we don't want. Coming into Cabo San Lucas, Mike Sierra Delta, we need to do the same thing. Let's pick up the star and arrival. Real quick, I'm referencing my sim brief. We're on the Aneca 1 Alpha. For the approach down there, they've got VOR DMEs, VORs. What should we do today? We're going to do visual approach, but let's just go ahead and set up for the RNAV 16 off the Aneca 1 Alpha, and we'll leave the transition out. We'll insert that. We'll deal with that when we get there. I really want to do some hand flying with this airplane once we get over to Cabo. All right, so that's good. Our flight plan is pretty much loaded in the box. You can see our cabin door is open. What we need to do now is get our V speeds and the rest of our initialization done. So I'm going to come over here to the init page, and then we're going to go arrow right, and we're going to get to the init B page. You'll be familiar with this if you've flown the A320 series. Same deal. The init B page is where we're going to input some additional information. And again, before I input some additional information, shout out to Mateo Chewy. Give you guys an outside view here. I do want to make sure I say proper shout outs. Very busy chat box, but Mateo, appreciate your support, man. Thanks you for stepping on board with us today down Cabo. The sounds when the landing gear come down is insane, and the aircraft actually feels like a heavy aircraft. Ricardo, I couldn't agree more with you, man. I absolutely can't wait to get this puppy, everyone. We're going to go through it together. Widget is indeed. All right, so our block fuel, we have fuel on board is 65.7. Now our block fuel for the flight is 30. What are we going to burn? 30? 30.0 rounded up. Oops. 30.0. Oh my gosh. 30.0. That's our block burn. 0 fuel weight, landing weight, and seat, takeoff weight CG. So we're going to come back over here, and you can see we've got our information here. So our dry operating weight, payload, 0 fuel weight is 237.2. So let's come back here, and we're going to put 237.2. Takeoff gross weight 165.3. Camera view here. Gross weight. Let's see. Gross weight will be 302 plus 65.9. Trim is 24.5 and 1.3 up. Let's see here. Let me just double check. Our payload is 60.4. 0 fuel weight 237. Gross weight is 302,000 pounds. 24.5 on the trim. There we go. No alternate today. So there is our basic takeoff and initialization done. So next thing we need to do is we need to go over to the takeoff page on the McDo. We have to get our V-speeds. This is something we're going to do manually. Again, in X-Plane, we used to do this with an import, but it's not a big deal. We're going to basically get our proper information here. So the current altimeter is 29092, standard day. Interesting. So let's go over to our takeoff performance tab. And I'm trying to adjust it so this thing doesn't keep popping up.
Or, if you want to download liveries, use the external ini manager. If you want the cabin, download the enhancer in the MSFS marketplace. One heck of a great aircraft iniBuilds.
Thank you so much, C2A, for the $5 dono. I appreciate you, man. Couldn't agree more. Yes, if you guys want to know where the liveries are, INI Manager, pick it up from their website. You can load all the liveries you want. It also makes managing all your products very easy. Okay, let's go through this. Oh, Aviator Trav, good point. 29992 because weather isn't updating. Good catch there, man. All right, so this took me a second to check out, so I want to make sure I show you guys this closely. When you come to your takeoff configuration, you're going to select TORA. This stands for Takeoff Runway Available, or Takeoff Distance Remaining Available, Runway Available. We're going to be full length. The full length number will automatically be down here for what you have in the box, so we're going to just select 10878. If you know what intersection you're taking off and you know what your remaining distance is going to be, then you can put that in there applicably. But right now we're going full length 108.78. The surface is dry. The runway QDM automatically populated here 263. The wind for today, since the servers aren't updating, we're going to go 000 at 0 knots. OAT, standard outside temperature today, is 15 degrees Celsius. Altimeter and HG, we're going 29992, no decimal point, excuse me. The aircraft configuration, our takeoff weight, I'm going to jump right back down here. Our gross weight is 302.9. Now, I think there's probably a better way to get this number because you have burn fuel and all that, but let's just be conservative with 302.9 for takeoff. So weight, we're going to click here and we're going to go 302.900. Wait, we'll do 302.9. There we go, 302.9. All right. Flaps, we'll do 15.0, anti-ice air conditioning off. And now, I think if we hit calculate, bingo. There we go. We have a flex takeoff of 59. 156, 158, 161. So if you want to know how to fill out this tablet, clip this part of the stream, come back. I just talked you through it. But now we need to manually input these speeds. Not a big deal at all. We're going to do this here. We're going to go. I wish there was a way to do no flex. Could I change this? I wonder. No. Okay. We'll do a flex takeoff. That's fine. So 156, 158, and 161. So 56, 58, and 61. So we're going to come down here. 156, 158, and now you'll notice we can't put in 161 right here. This says FCU. We must input this via the FCU. So we come up to our FCU and we're going to dial in 161 up here in the speed mock window. Now I feel like I was corrected on this before about the proper speed to put in this window, so it may not be 161. Someone in chat who's more familiar, do I put 250 here or is it 161 plus 10? I feel like there's a special knob, special speed mock here. Now again, DH, we're going to select DH -5 to minimize any rad out on the departure procedure. Our top altitude, since we don't have any ATC on today, let's see what we filed. We filed, I'm not even sure what I filed now. Let me find it. 370 at 80. So we're going to just dial in 370. Now there's probably a way to do this in not the hundreds. Maybe if I click on it. There we go. Nope. You know, Jake, the FPS, what I think is messing with the FPS is the constant server pinging, popping back and forth. Alright, so I'll tell you what. I'll push it in. Let me see. Ah, there we go. Okay, I thought it was, there we go. That will make it a lot quicker. So I learned something there too. So when you're dealing with whole thousands, push this knob in. When you're dealing with hundreds, you can pull it out, and that'll do it. Thank you, iniBuilds. I appreciate that. That's something I should have picked up on. Our runway heading is 251, so we're going to leave it right there. Speed Mach 161. Basically, our EFIS is set. We'll turn on the constraint mode over here for us, and we're pretty much ready to go. Let's look at our thrust panel over here. We're going to do a Toga. We'll do a flex takeoff of 59. So I'm going to set my flex numbers to 59. Boom. So now our target N1 that we should see on departure will be 97.6. Battings, I am going to turn off the online functionality once we get airborne. I just didn't want to do it on the ground because it'll get rid of the ground texture and everything for LAX. So we're going to deal with it on the ground here, but as soon as we get airborne, trust me, I'll turn it off. We're not going to see it for the rest of the flight. It'll be great. All right, so everything is done. TAP plus 20, thrust limit. We got our 97.6 there. I think we're pretty much looking good to go. So I'm going to come over here now, and we're going to get rid of some other items. Let's go here. Let's go ahead and close door 1 left. And I am going to get rid of the jetway. And we have, we started the APU. So APU is on and running. So let's go ahead and disconnect from external power. You can see the Avail light is on. We'll get our probe and window heats on. We'll get our beacon on. We'll put our strobe in auto. And then we'll leave the galley shed for right now. And we can disconnect the GPU. And we're ready for pushback. So we're just going to push back straight back now because I haven't messed with GSX and the compatibility. I don't know, and I don't want to mess with it just yet. So if you guys have messed with it in chat, maybe you already have an idea. So we're going to go ahead and start that there, and it's going to basically call a tug over. It's going to hook up, and we're going to get out of here. There we go. So this is a little wing view out here. A little bit quiet because we got nothing on. How do I download this? Didn't see it on the market. Right when you update, you should get it. And speaking of wing noise and all that, we can go ahead and turn on the APU bleed, get some bleed pressure, listen to the air kicking on. Love the pack sound, very good. Waiting for our prepare for pushback and departure. There we go. Pixelated Wolf, I couldn't even get to switch the online server. Alright, now how did I get that? Let's do this. Let's go here. Where's my toe? Interesting. All right, let's give it a shot with GSX. Power back. Let's give it a shot with GSX. Let's see what happens. Here comes our guy with the pin. He's walking under the airplane, so we'll stand by. GSX overrides the default tugs and invisible. Interesting. We'll see what happens. The liveries I downloaded from the iniBuilds manager. Waiting for a ground crew. He's doing his thing underneath there. He's walking under the airplane. Alright, bypass pin inserted. Doors and windows are all closed and locked. Might get hot brakes with GSX pushbacks, but can enable brake fans and leave gear down at the botcher. iniBuilds, awesome. I will look forward to it. We can deal with a hot brake issue. It's interesting though because my 2 flights prior to this, all I did is hit that little back arrow and I didn't have an issue. It just backed me up and I was good to go. But we'll see what happens here. All right, I'm gonna do this: nose right, tail left. Let's see what happens.
Locking gear.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the channel, my friend. Guys, who was that? Somebody also donated 10 more subs. Pontus Waldmerson. Sorry, man. It took me a minute to get back to your very generous gifted sub. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for gifting 10 more subs out to the channel. You're absolutely awesome. Thank you for that. Appreciate you.
Release parking brakes.
All right, brakes released. Let's go.
Commencing push. All engines clear. Start at will.
So let's just see what happens here. So my wing views that I have bound basically are on the outside of the airplane. That's why you're not hearing anything out here right now. Let me see if I come back in. All right, we'll save. We're gonna save cabin tour. We'll save the cabin tour for up at cruise. We'll do a couple of them. Don't you guys worry. You have blurry cockpit textures. If you're on the PC, make sure you download the enhancement pack. Oh wow, look at this. Oh, we had it successfully connected there for a second. I am not going to start engines until the pushback is complete, just to help minimize any potential bugs. Now we're getting all sorts of friend requests. Sim Update 11 also added helicopters. Awesome, dude. Andrea says, I can't believe you're doing it. Microsoft plus the 310. Hey, you know what? I thought about, should I do this or not, this stream? You know, I figured, like, because I normally like to run at least a couple full sector test flights, and then, but I myself am also very excited about this airplane. I love the A310, the A300. I think, you know, being an Airbus pilot in real life, obviously on the narrow body, which is completely different.
Set parking brakes.
It's a good pushback. Brakes are set.
Cockpit to ground. We have a good engine
But I
start.
love this airplane because of
Unlocking
number
gear.
one, of the history behind it. Like, it's iconic in what it accomplished, what Airbus accomplished, and it set the tone for what came in the future of aviation. And then I also enjoy looking at, every time I fly it, I feel like I pick up on something. Oh, that's something that Airbus has kept on the narrow body, or that's something that they dropped. The altimeter, how is it moving? Well, they were doing a hugger tug, or however you want to do it. Basically, they lift it, and then they lift the nose up, and then they push it back, and then they lower the nose. So it seems like we have a pretty successful pushback right on the line. That seems good to me. I'll hit the barrel ref key. Let's see if we get updated. Nope. Still 29902. All right, everything else looks good. Let's go ahead and fire up the airplane. So to start,
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass pin removed.
let's see. Today is an odd
Left
day,
is clear. Right is clear.
so we're going to use start alpha and starting engine 1. Here we go. So we're going to press that. With that started, we'll monitor the engine instruments. Now, someone correct me if I'm wrong. Is this one? I forget. Do I wait for max motoring on these? I think I do. Because on X-Plane we had 2 variants, and one of them you didn't have to wait for max motoring. Any fun, interesting tug stories? I've got a few. I got pushed into a catering truck before. I've been pushed into a wall. Not really a wall. It's more of a fence. Had a fence line incident. Had a catering truck incident. At least 20%. Thank you, iniBuilds. Here we go. Here comes number 1. We'll monitor EGT. N1 is on the rise. Waiting for fuel flow. Actually, we already have fuel flow. Disregard that. %, N2 on the. Okay, so there's the answer. At least 20% N2 on the GEs. Is 20. Minimum is 25. Okay, at least 20% N2. I assume we get a hot EGT start if you didn't do that, because I did have a hot start on one of my attempts earlier. All right, we got a good start on number 1. Let's go ahead and start on number 2. So to start number 2, we're going to use the same ignition start source, but we're going to hit starter number 2 for number 2. The fuel cutoff switches, I have them bound, Andre, but they are right here. I'll move this out of the way. So this is just like you're in your Airbus or your Boeing, right down there below the throttle. So we'll wait for proper N2s. There's at least 20%. We'll let it go a little bit higher. There we go. 25 max motoring. There we go. We introduced fuel. There's the light off. Let me turn it up. I'm going to try to keep the sim a little bit louder than normal so you guys can enjoy the sounds. Let me know if it's obnoxious or it's drowning me out. So that click sound you heard, that's the starter disengaging. Look at that. Look at the power transfer bus. You get the flicker of the screen there. Very realistic. Real airplane does that. Heck, even some of the Airbuses in today's world still does that. Still do that. Monitoring good starts. We have 2 good starts. We'll go ahead and move the ignition switch to off. I have that bound. That's why that moved without me clicking it. At this point, we can go ahead and turn off the APU master switch. It's no longer necessary. We'll get rid of the galley shed. We'll get our oxygens. I missed that on the initial cockpit flow, but everything else is good to go. Outside view. All right, let's go ahead and set flaps 5, which I need to, excuse me, flaps 15, there we go. Pretty good sound there, pretty good sound. This seemed a little bit loud, hold on, I'm gonna turn this back down. Sim is very loud. Yeah, it was pretty loud there for me too. All right, we got 370 blue, so we can do profile, nav, blue. 161 is set. Everything else looks good. Brakes released. Taxi light on. I could set the sim. Oh, weather preset. That's not a bad idea, Chaos. All right, let's roll. Your enthusiasm shines through, Captain. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you, man. Kaz, I'll probably tune our preset on after takeoff, just because we've got all of our takeoff numbers and everything set for this departure. I'm going to, we're just going to leave it, but maybe in cruise we'll change it, add some clouds. Roberto, what's up, man? It says V1 is the Flightbox holding to the 310. Roberto, I have pretty much everything bound on it. I was having an issue with the 310 saving the calibration. So it works, but for some reason it won't save the calibration. And I was going to dig a little bit further into that, but what I ended up doing was I just turned off the reverse on same axes. So, but what I'm actually going to do, Roberto, what I'm actually going to do is I think I'm going to run it with the Boeing throttles, because I think I'd rather have the full range of motion. But we'll have to take a look here. All right, let's make our turn. Yeah. Sky Chefs just wanted to go for a ride. Nope, not on that sim. Just wanted to focus on the airplane today, man. Just wanted to focus on the airplane. All right, so we have profile climb nav. Man thrust is on there right now. That'll go to speed once we hit our Toga push button that we found. And is this full length here? This is Echo Delta 7. Yeah, this is full length. Running out of juice. John, no, you were never a fan, but this is changing your mind. Hey, dude, for a free airplane, it's mind-blowing. You gotta at least take it for a spin. This is a full, this is a full payware airplane, which blows my mind. This is a full payware product here that you guys get to have for free. I get to have free. We get to have for free. Absolutely awesome. I'm climbing a little bit of a hill here. I'm taking my time with lining up because I don't know if I actually bound my tiller axis correctly, so I'm using my tiller to steer. All right, here we go. We'll line up on 2-4. I overshot that one a little bit. I think I need to adjust my setting on my tiller. I think I have a little curve in there. All right, here we go. Let's go ahead and turn it up. Runway lights are coming on. Landing lights, wing lights, nose to take off, strobe to the on position. 774 viewers watching. Are you guys ready to go or what? I'm going to spool them up 50%. Yoga's in check. Here we go. It's a flex takeoff, so it's not as exciting. Man thrust. We're looking for 96.9. Airspeed's alive. 100 knots check. There's 96.9 on the N1s. V1. Rotate. Uh-oh. Runway started coming up close. Oh, let's see. Profile climb nav. There we go. Positive rate. Gear up. I guess I'm just not used to flexing. Normally we do a Toga and we're off at like halfway point. Bug up 250. Profile climb. Oh, you know what? There's probably a restriction there. We'll go auto thrust. So we're speed. Nope. 250. Didn't finish my bug up. Come on, baby. There is our flap speed.
Don't sink. Don't
That's my
sink.
fault. That's my fault. I'm gonna do this. We'll go level change to 250. Or excuse me, to 370. Now we can see the flight director command bars coming up. There we go. There was an altitude restriction, but I didn't want to deal with it because we're not even on ATC, so that's why the command bar was commanding us to level off. But now I've got us in a level change to 370, 250 on the speed. She's trimmed out, I'm hands off, and she's flying beautifully. And I kind of want to enjoy this look, so let's do this. Let's go autopilot. So we're flight director 1, command 1. So now we're autopilot is engaged. I want to watch this airplane in the turn here. This is going to be a sweet view. This is going to be a sweet view here in the turn. Watch this with LA in the background. Look at the wing flex on there. Awesome. Yes, final light profile is basically managed nav. Think of it like managed nav. Here we go in the turn. Oh, so how sweet is that? That is awesome. So because I wonder if the servers are never actually got fixed. If I change the weather condition now, let's see what we got. Well, variable at 5. It's pretty bland. I tell you what, let's do this. This is gonna, well, I don't know. That maybe it's loading in. I think is it loading in yet? Nah, it's just a reflection. Yeah, that server flickering in and out did a lot of borking. As soon as we get out of this turn here, I'm going to do just like a scattered clouds, so we have something to look at. Let's just do a few clouds. There we go. It's going to change the profile of the airplane here a little bit, but it's going to be much more visually pleasing. Okay, now we got some crazy things going on to our N1s here. Just trying to catch back up to it. We need to go to climb thrust. That's on me. That's on me. Don't mind the engine damage we just did. Rusty C, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you, man. Thanks for giving me some decent watch this evening. Rusty, thank you, man, for stopping by. Appreciate you. We're out of here now. We did a little over juicing on the engines, but that's my fault. But you can see now that server issue isn't pinging crazy. I feel like my frames are much better. I think it was a combination of being in LA and the servers constantly trying to load in, constantly dropping, that it really messed up the performance. But right now it seems much smoother. Here is 10,000 feet. We'll go ahead and turn off our overhead lights. Excuse me, our overhead lights. We'll turn off our landing lights. We'll turn off the turn-off lights, and we'll turn off the nose light. That way we just have beacon, strobe, and nav. Yeah, server impact, frame rates. Yeah, for sure. It was really messing with me. Now I'm going to go back to profile climb. So somebody who was asking, profile climb, very similar to VNAV or manage nav in the 320. There are some differences, but profile climb is indicated by P thrust, P climb. So profile thrust, profile climb. What profile is it going to be flying? It's going to be flying what you have in your box here. So if we come down here and we go to takeoff approach, that's VAP. Where is, I know it's in here. Econ, so we could change, so you could change your econ climb, max climb, but it's flying the cost index climb, and we cost indexed it at, I believe, was it 75 or 99? So you can see its climb, it's accelerating to 325. That's the determined speed from the cost index that we used, and it's going to accelerate to that speed while climbing up to 370. The only other restriction on the departure here is tan at or above 15,000 feet, which we're going to meet that probably no problem. We only got about 2,000 feet to go here. So everything is looking good. We'll turn off the DH. We'll get rid of that. 370 is set. Heading is set. Everything else looks good. We'll do an overhead sweep here. Our fuels look good. We got no lights on the overhead. Aircraft is pressurizing. That's always something you want to check. You never want to be climbing out without being pressurized. You can see here now our speed blue tick mark is the target speed in the profile. So as soon as it reaches this profile tick, it should then actually increase its rate of climb because it no longer needs to accelerate while climbing. This is one of the rare airplanes that has so much power. Look, we are accelerating and we're climbing at 2,000 feet a minute. I don't think you can accelerate at 2,000 feet a minute in a narrow body at all unless you're empty. I mean, to have that significant acceleration while maintaining a 2,000 foot per minute climb gradient is awesome. This airplane is an absolute beast. So much so that doing a go-around is actually a pretty risky, not risky, but you have to be ready for doing a go-around low level. All right, we've reached our profile speed now, just about 318 knots or so. We're climbing out and looking good. Look at those wing textures. Let me turn down the sim a little bit. Let's get back into the juice here. Aviation Blase, appreciate you, man. Thank you. This looks incredible. It is incredible, man. We're going to do a full cabin tour. We'll do more cockpit overview here. Just want to make sure we get up to our cruise altitude nice and safe here. Do I remember where the trim indicator is? The trim is right down here, my friend. Right here. What we could do is we could actually... Ooh, there's a cabin view. We're going to save that for later. Let's turn up some lights a little bit here. There we go. Nice. I mean, look at that. Absolutely. Oh, there's the view right there, downtown LA. There is the view. Swarm says, this is a 310 port from X-Plane, or are there a few new things added? Swarm, I would not say this is a port at all. In fact, I don't even think X-Plane... I don't even think you can port from X-Plane to Microsoft. It's a different... different platform all in all. Whereas, you know, P3D, you can port directly from P3D to Microsoft, just like you could from FSX. So there is no less features, I will tell you that, Swarm. The differences that I've noticed immediately are just the way that the iPad works. And iniBuilds mentioned before that the iPad on this airplane, you know, or it's not possible yet at Microsoft where you can actually send data from the calculator in the iPad to the McDo, but it's not a big deal at all. You do all your calculations in the iPad, take your time, make sure you do everything correctly, and then you just input those manually. But there are no less features. Where can you get the livery? The liveries are going to be from the INI manager. I might have to pin that message. Once you get around flight level 240, watch the trim tank get filled and CG change. All right, let's do it. So we're going to pull up the fuel page. I'm going to pull it up because I want to watch it. Okay, so let's take a look at what's going on here. So our fuel tanks, our trim tank is 0 right now. We got no fuel in the trim tank. What is a trim tank? A trim tank is basically used to do exactly what it's labeled. Adjust the trim of the aircraft. So basically you can manipulate your center of gravity in the airplane by moving fuel around. These airplanes that have such a high fuel capacity, these long range airplanes, it's necessary to be able to adjust the CG with fuel without burning it or before you burn it or what have you. Hopefully I'm kind of saying that right. iniBuilds is in chat. They probably have a better explanation. I'm trying to think if I've flown an airplane with a trim tank. I don't believe so. Like one that's actually used for ballast. Now I've done ballast fuel and all that. That's a whole different thing. This is an actual tank. It's way in the tail, correct? I believe, isn't it like way back in the tail? Oh, gear lever to off. There we go. Thank you. So we're at 21.5. We're climbing out. We're on the jump seat. Let's enjoy this. When the plane is empty, there you go. Yeah, that's another thing too. If you have to ferry an airplane, sometimes an empty airplane is one of the trickiest types of airplanes to manipulate the CG. Look, look, look. Our center tank valve have opened and they're transferring fuel to the trim tank to adjust the CG of the aircraft. Look at that. This is this is study level stuff. I know a lot of people hate that term, study level airplane, or let's just say high fidelity. Or I like the way iniBuilds said it on X-Plane. This is an on-the-line airplane, basically operating line operations. Everything that you would have to deal with and interact with on a day-to-day operation is modeled and simulated. You could see the CG is moving aft now as we move fuel to that trim tank. So this is cool. And I'm assuming that it's moving the CG aft because that's going to be your most efficient. So the most efficient airplane to fly in cruise, if you think about it, so long-haul airplanes, the most efficient way to have the CG is on the aft center of the envelope. So basically, if you imagine your CG envelope is from 10 units to 30 units, I'm just making this up. If you have a CG towards that 30 unit mark, maybe like that 28 area, 25, whatever it may be, that is actually going to be more efficient. You're going to have less fuel burn, you can save gas, and you can fly faster with less drag with an aft CG. So these airplanes are designed to manipulate, and I'm assuming that's what's happening here. That's just cool. I mean, that is, this reminds me of when I fired up the Phoenix for the first time, and I said, guys, this 320 that you fire up on your sim is not just a face value 320. There is real Airbus stuff happening behind the scenes, behind the screens. And I can tell you the same is true with this airplane. When you fire up your iniBuilds A310, and I see a lot of, the frame's heavy, I've noticed I don't want to do a full frame, like how heavy is it on frames yet, because with all the server issues, I don't know how much of it was server issues versus how much is the airplane. But it's pretty safe to say that any complex airplane is going to have a slight impact on performance, no matter what. But the reason that is because when you power up this 310, guys, when you hit that battery switch, when you start turning on the APU and fuel starts burning, you are actually having an airplane come to life with living, breathing systems behind these panels, behind these gauges, and that is a small price to pay, losing a few frames, to have a simulation like this happening. And I can tell you, I mean, the frames right now are totally fine. I honestly believe the server issues down on the ground combined with the iniBuilds LAX scenery is just, it was tripping out my rig, and I don't have the most powerful rig out there, so your experience may vary, but this is just neat to see, man. It can go 2.6, exactly. I'm saying it's not just a pretty face. Look at that. So it's moving all that center fuel to the trim tank. That's just cool. We'll monitor that. CG is changing. Everything looks good. Ooh, we'll save the cabin view for later. Let me zoom out my flight plan here. We got a long ways to go. Let me go outside view. Oh, I love it. I'm going to turn it down a little bit here. Now, one thing I don't know is if there is a way to... I hope I don't override stuff if I bump my yoke. I don't have to dig around on that one. Can you do an in-real flight stream? No, Power. Sorry. Santiago, you're absolutely right. So going back to that, CG is a stalled airplane. The hardest to recover is with an aft CG, so you have to be careful. You have to be careful. That's why when you come in for landing, if you plan it right, and this is what makes cool old airplanes cool, like the 74200 and stuff. The flight engineer is balancing the CG of the airplane. So, okay, you do your takeoff and all that stuff. Then when you get into cruise, you want to move that CG aft. But then for landing, you want to make sure you have enough fuel where it needs to be so the CG isn't sitting on that aft limit, if you can help it. Because a stalled airplane with an aft CG is indeed the hardest to recover. And sometimes, if you're out of balance, and not sometimes, typically, if you are outside of your CG limit aft and you stall, it can render the aircraft unrecoverable. So you got to be careful with that. Liveries are on the iniBuilds manager. Yes. I'm actually going to pin that because that is like one of the most common things we're getting here. So liveries can be found on iniBuilds manager V2. Done. Boom. And pin. There we go. Fadek, what's that? Are you talking about a flight engineer? Exactly, Steven. Exactly. The 310 just looks like a 70s and 80s. Yes. Rams fan asks, is this the best freeware besides the Zebo? I would say it's right up there with the Zebo, if not better, man. I don't know enough about the Zebo to know like all the subsystems, but I would say they are head-to-head, man. This is the Zebo of Microsoft. But it's an Airbus, which makes it even better, because I love Airbus. How does the plane feel on landing? Flight simulation experience, dude, we're going to find that out together. So I have a confession. I have not done a single full landing yet. So we're going to find that out together. I took the airplane off twice. I was on approach to land, and I there was a scenery. I had one of my power lines out, and I hit a power line, and it messed up my approach to landing in Lauderdale. So I have not actually landed the airplane. When we land this, it'll be live on stream for the first time. But I will tell you, from taking it off, I did some hand flying, like around. I tried to get it around the pattern and everything. I was doing it to get my binding set, and it flies like you would imagine an A310 would fly. It's got that heavy feel to it. I kind of hate saying heavy feel, because it really shouldn't matter if an airplane is 300,000 pounds or 10,000 pounds. It's all relative. But I will say this: it is not twitchy in the flight controls. It is not glitchy, like some twitchy, glitchy kind of hand to hand. Doesn't feel that way at all. I can feel the mass and the inertia of the aircraft. I'll say that. I can easily feel mass and inertia when I'm hand flying the airplane around. Sluggish, another good word to put it. Fly-by-wire feels neglected. No, I'm not trying to neglect fly-by-wire. They are up there too, man. They're up there too. That's what makes, I mean, if you think about it, it's just the fact that you've got an A310 and a Neo airplane for free. And I would consider them both high-fidelity airplanes for free. It's absolutely mind-blowing, and we are so lucky to be a part of the sim world at this time now. Look at these views, though. Delta widget for the win, huh? Can I ask you a question? Microsoft, the 310 FMC buttons and overhead wording is distorted. Are you using DLSS, number one? Number two, are you on PC? If you are on PC, make sure you get the free enhancement mod that's on the workplace, work store, shop, the marketplace. That's the word I'm looking for, marketplace. So when I loaded into the airplane for the first time, I didn't have it. I didn't even look around too much. I basically wanted to load in, make sure it worked. Then I just Alt F4 and then did the enhancement pack, rebooted, and it worked. And so I don't really know what it looks like before, but I did notice a sharpness change when I installed the enhancement pack. Maybe that's something you need to look into. Air Dave, what's up, man? Thanks for the support, dude. For 7 months, he says, great to see this new plane. Also an update. Had my flight attendant interviews with AA on Wednesday. Got the job offer. Air Dave, congratulations, man. That's absolutely fantastic, dude. Happy to hear that, man. That's awesome stuff. Does it have Hoppy? No, it does not. And there we go. Hi, nice. Gotcha. Yeah, it does not have Hoppy support. Whoa, we're getting a little bit... are we above our max? Are we even supposed to get up to 37 yet? We are riding... I think we might be too heavy for 37. We are riding the line here. Let's increase speed. I tell you what. Let's do 360, altitude hold. That's another mistake on my end. We are not yet able to get to 37, I do not believe. Progress, that's right. I need to go to the prog page. What's our optimum today? Yeah, max is 352. Optimum is 344. We done messed that up. So let's go down. I'm gonna set 350 because it's smooth. We're going to set 350 and let's just trickle down. Let's just do a nice, easy 500 feet per minute descent to 350. Nothing to see here. iniBuilds is like, how does this guy even consider himself a real-world pilot? Almost just stalled the freaking airplane. I got to tell you, though, this is a testament to the 310. Both here in the sim and in real life. You take a narrow body Airbus 2,000 feet above its max at 8.1 Mach, good luck. It ain't gonna happen. The 310 is that powerful, guys. That's the kind of power you're talking about this airplane. And I wouldn't say we're heavy, but we're moderately loaded. Imagine if you're super light and you do a go around low level with Toga thrust. You have to be Johnny on the spot with the trim. You have to be Johnny on the spot with your control inputs. So yeah, that's just, it's cool to see that. And somebody said coffin corner. Look at that, and that is properly simulated. So what is coffin corner? It's basically when you start boxing yourself in between going too fast and stalling the airplane. So as you climb, the performance outside of the airplane is going to degrade, so you need to fly a little bit faster. The AOA is changing, but then your Mach number is also increasing at altitude. You don't want to go too fast, so you start getting pinched in from both sides, and that is what we call a coffin corner. That one was pretty narrow up there at 36. I'll tell you what, that good thing I came inside here. We should actually be monitoring the airplane instead of looking at wing views. But we're coming down to 35. Alt is blue, so it should capture. I think the airplane will be much happier at 350. Good thing our CG is aft too. If we would have stalled, that would have been spicy. That would have been a very embarrassing moment on live stream. I don't typically stall aircraft, but when I do, I like to do it with 700 people watching. So almost got me there. Fake pilots, exactly. That's why we have the real fake pilot emojis. So if you picked up a membership and you want to know when can you use an emoji, that would be the appropriate time to use the real fake pilot emojis. I'm doing flight tests at the same time, exactly. All right, so we're leveling. We can see Alt star. That means it is in a capture mode. And once we level at 35, and I could probably change, I'm going to change cruise altitude right now to 35. So we'll be into cruise mode. Now I wonder, in the narrow body we go to alt cruise. I wonder if that's a narrow body thing. Looks like we're going to just stay in alt mode here. So we're 350, we're cruising at 35. Everything looks good. Let's get a bearing and distance to Mike Sierra Delta, which is Cabo. We've got 659 miles to go, so we got some time. We're leveling at 35. We'll just sit here, make sure everything is kosher, and then let's do some outside view stuff. See if Mach Tuck is simulated. No, I would not like to find that out live. Only real pilot stall with 704 people watching. Exactly, Ricardo, exactly. John says it's so cool seeing how the 320 got some of its systems for this plane. John, and I totally agree with you, man. I'm going to turn the seatbelt sign off. Seems like it's a nice smooth ride here at 35. So seatbelt sign is off. Airplane is pressurized nicely. We didn't exceed anything, I don't think. We'll do a systems check. But John, I totally agree with you. And that's a huge reason why I love this airplane, is because I can see, you know, going through systems pages, going through things in the cockpit, you can see what was kept and what wasn't kept, you know? Like this auto brake panel, for instance. I can see that they kind of kept the idea, low, medium, max, but they changed it. Anti-skid switch is still the same. They just reversed it, put it horizontal, and stuck it over here by the gear. So like that's something that they kept. This accumulator pressure gauge, exactly the same one that we have in the narrow body fleet today. So they obviously, that was a good design. They kept it. These engine gauges, you know, with the introduction of glass cockpits and all that went away, so that's all different. Engine display here, a little bit different. Well, let's go ahead and go through. Let's check our limits. Everything looks good on the engine page. What I really want to do is bind all these keys. I don't even know if that's possible. Let's see here. Hydraulics looking good. Oh, nice full hydraulics. Electrical AC. Let's get to 400 likes. Yeah, let's get to 400 likes. Let's see. We already hit 300 likes for the A300, right? Oh yeah, we're 363. Let's get 400 likes going. We can do that. Get 400 likes, guys. And don't do it for me. Do it for iniBuilds, putting this airplane out to you guys for absolutely no charge at all. Unbelievable. All right, electrical AC looks good. DC, so here's something that's changed from narrow body. Oh yeah, I need to change my TRP as well to auto. Cruise thrust. See, thank goodness they got rid of this on the narrow body, because I'd be up here flying around in either Toga or frickin' climb the whole time. So Good thing they got rid of that. Us narrow body guys, we're lazy. We just automatic mode. You know, that's half the questions on your check write are, oh, it operates in conjunction with the automatic logic of the system. Yeah, press the TRP to auto. There we go, auto. I like that. Electrical DC, that's good. We don't have that on the narrow body. That's separated here. Bleed page, let's take a look. Air bleed, very similar layout to what I'm accustomed to. Obviously, there's more valves going along here. We got a little bit more of what I'm used to, but very similar. That looks good. Condition page, very similar to the narrow body, except kind of flipped in the narrow body. But here we still have the zones. We got forward, mid, and aft zones. Looks like we got trim valves. We got the main valve, the bulk cargo. Awesome. That looks good. Pressurization page. Very important page to know what it means, what it looks like. Real quick, let's do a quick rundown. Cabin altitude, that is the altitude at which the passengers are breathing. So as you go up in altitude, the oxygen levels will actually deplete the higher you go up in altitude. And I just got to make sure I didn't miss a call here from somebody very important. No, we're good. So the altitude that the cabin is at is 6,800 feet. So you're breathing a little bit less oxygen up here. That's sometimes why on really long flights you feel exhausted even though you didn't do anything. Just less oxygen to the brain. But we are pressurized, we're within limits. The vertical speed here, that's the rate at which the cabin is changing. When these vertical speeds, whether it's positive or negative, start to get like high numbers or high valued, that's when you can feel it in your ears changing. You know, in excess of 300 feet per minute, you can really start to feel it change in your ears. Delta P, this is the pressure per square inch. So we got 8 PSI right now. And I don't know what looks like the limit is right about 9.6. I think for us it's like 8.6. Obviously a little bit different engineering, but basically the same thing. These are the valves that control it. So it looks like we have forward and aft valves, pressurization. I'm trying to think of the actual name for the valve. Forward and aft valves, and then we have a safety and the vent overboard, basically, so you don't over pressurize. You don't want to pop. So they've got both of those, and we've got two cabin valves instead of one. Fuel page, we've already looked at that. Look, we've got our fuel all the way in the trim tank. Our CG is 31.6, so we've moved our CG aft automatically. We got a slightly aft CG. We're within limits, and we're cruising fast and efficient in an A310. Absolutely fantastic. Mike P, thank you so much, man, for the $5 super chat. Says you should get the Elgato Stream Deck to bind your overhead light switches and your ECAM buttons. Mike P, thank you so much, man, for your super chat. I've looked into this potentially. It's just something I haven't really gone after, but you bring up a good point, so maybe I'll have to look into that a little bit. Further. Anyway, there's our fuel page. We've already looked at that. That looks good. APU page is off, right? Everything is good, beautiful. Flight control page, another important page to look at. Everything is in the green. I wonder what hydraulic systems operate the vertical stab or horizontal stab. That would be a vertical stab, rudder. Guess what? Oh no, that's rudder. But the systems anyway. Green and yellow. So if you want to know, we got blue, green, and yellow. Green and yellow are operating stab. Cool deal. Door page should all be closed. If it's open right now, it's a sensor, or else you probably wouldn't be flying. Wheel page, this is where you check your brake temps. If you get a hot brake, I believe over 300C, I don't know if it's the same in the 310, that's what it is for us, but in over 300C, this page will automatically populate. You say hot brakes, and the highest brake will be amber. You can also see, it looks like our speed brakes, speed brake panels, spoilers, and roll. Awesome. If you do get hot brakes and you need to cool them down, the aircraft is equipped with a brake fan located right here on your pedestal or on your forward console. So basically this is where you get your 3 greens, and your brake fan would be right here. And I believe this would light up hot, right? Let's see, is there a light annunciator test? Surely there's an annunciator test button. Annunciator test. Maybe probably shouldn't do that in flight, but there you go. Look, there is our brake fan, hot. So there you go, easy to find it. If you have hot brakes on landing, you're gonna see this is gonna illuminate amber. It's gonna say hot. You can go ahead and turn that on. And if you wanna see all your switches, this is what I like to do when we have kids come into the cockpit. We turn on the annunciator panel and we show them, oh, look at all the lights and all that stuff. Pretty cool. So this is all your lights on. We even have wind shear on the PFD indicated there. I'm actually curious now if that's probably prohibited in flight. I don't know. Surely it wouldn't be, right? Everything else looks good. Do the brake fans come stock with the 310? That's a great question. I'm unaware. Let's go a little faster. Let's see if we can do 8.2. Why not? All right, 8.2. Our systems checks are done. I am going to put us in outside view for a second. We'll turn down the sim a little bit. Let me get some questions in from you guys, and then let's enjoy some of these views as we head down south. I really want to set this to like 1 so it's not too loud. And then we'll do a full cabin tour. How's that? All right, where are we at here? Let me reconfigure some of the stuff on my desktop because I had all kinds of crazy stuff going. We'll do this. Whoa. Feels like such a proper old school airliner. Falling in love. John, no. It absolutely is, dude. I'm going to disable performance mode on my Streamlabs so I can see the audio. All right. I love the 310 and it makes me happy I can fly it. Exactly. Exactly, man. Being able to have... I mean, look at this. This is like straight out of... I feel like I've gone back in time now. Love the Delta widget livery. Miss seeing the Delta widget livery. Is there a way to check RAM availability to the 320? No, we can do. So basically, we can get it forecast, and we get it before flight. We check it if it's even going to be an issue. We'll check it before. But as far as in flight in the cockpit, I don't know. I don't want to say no, but I'll tell you I haven't done it. So I'm not saying it's not. You can't, but I haven't experienced it. Phoenix 320 quality for free? Hell yeah. You know what? It's right up there, man. It's right up there. I want to do some more digging in the systems, and I want to, I haven't flown the 310, so I can't say, oh my gosh, this flies exactly like a 310 or not. But I can just tell you what I would anticipate it to feel like or what I would expect it to feel like. And that's what I can tell you. When we fly the 320 and stuff, I can say, hey, this is exactly how the 320 flies, or it doesn't fly, or whatnot. But from what I would expect a 310 to feel like, it's pretty much there. I don't know fuel numbers, performance numbers, or what is the average fuel burn and a climb out of whatever N1. So I'm not familiar with those numbers. I don't know if they are spot on, but knowing I would imagine they have done some significant research into that information. Does it come with liveries? Yes, liveries can be found on the I manager of V2. Check it out. But yeah, Douglas Phillips, it's there, man. It's there with quality. It's very high quality. Good to see the 310, but the 300 will be my go-to if they decide to bring it over. There you go. I like them both. Pan Am had them both, so it doesn't bother me. Doesn't bother me. Does it have managed descent? Yes. So it would be called profile descent. Server issues are resolved now. So the only issue I have with that is if I go back to live, I don't think it loads it in properly. What's up, Draz? Good to see you. Fan of the contrails or no? My contrails went away. I don't have any right now. Oh man, doesn't that just look awesome though? Doesn't Emirates have a 310? That I'm not sure of. Just flew the 310 for the first time and the sound is ear gun. Need to get used to the systems. Yep. It'll take some getting used to if you're not familiar with it. I've had some familiarity with it from being on X-Plane. Now, I believe for profile descent, though, it's not the VNAV. Well, no, that's not true. The VNAV in the 310 is actually more advanced than the 300, wasn't it? I thought that was one of the changes. The VNAV was in the 310 versus the 300 was slightly different. I can't remember. Mr. Carlson, anyone know how to calibrate thrustmasters to idle on 310? Can't get it idle. Mr. Carlson, I had that same issue when I was trying to do same axes. So I just turned it off. It was almost like it wouldn't save that reverse idle, or excuse me, not the just the idle position. Like when you're doing the calibration, it would just save full reverse and Toga. So that might be a bug, but my workaround was I just turned that option off in the EFB. Just it says reverse on same axis. Turn that off, and then it should theoretically, fix itself. You could rebind it. And there you go. iniBuilds says they're looking in the Airbus TCA issues. There you go. Yeah. So that's the best way I could explain it. When I was binding with reverse on same axes, it always remembered the full and the forward, and it said it remembered where idle was, but it wouldn't. It never would. So like at idle, it was 33% N1 on the ground all the time. But if I switched controllers to one that didn't have it on the same axis, it was totally fine. And if you guys want to see, the options are over here. You go to your settings, and right here, reverse on throttle axis. I just put no for this one. Oh, here, you can change. And here, I did not even know this was on here. There you go, audio. You can adjust the engines, boost the engines up. Oh, 75%. Yes, please. Love to hear the engines. Everything looks good. Default thrust reduction altitude, 1,000 feet, 15,000 feet. Let's see. Reset brake temp. So I guess if you do run into a hot brake scenario, you could just do a reset here if it's on pushback or something. Link instruments. I have this on. Speaking of, we never set standard, but it was standard when we took off. So we should be fine. So I'll just pull for standard. But when I pull STD here, it'll sync it over here. That just makes your life easier. It makes your workload easier because instead of having to reach over here and hit it for the FO side, realistically, he would be doing it at the same time. So, man, love it. I think we're past the border now. We're well into over Mexico airspace. Audio sliders. Take note, Phoenix. There you go, Mike P. Audio sliders, indeed. Let's do a cabin tour. I think we should do a cabin tour. You guys want to see a cabin tour? Douglas Phillips, I was going to fly from Denver to LA. Now I get to watch V1 live stream. Priorities. Thank you, Douglas. I appreciate you, man. And I want to say thank you to everybody that if I missed a super chat or if I missed a dono, I know there was rattled off quite a few there at the beginning of the stream. It was kind of hectic. Microsoft window flashing into me with my face, the servers flashing back and forth. So if I missed it, I apologize. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your continued support. Thank you to all the members of the channel that continue to make this channel go around. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. So I appreciate each and every one of you. And if you're just here for the first time, I hope you like this content. Drop a like. And hopefully we'll see you again soon. All right. So for a cabin tour, let me just see if I don't want to accidentally bump the yoke. Alright, everything's fine here. Now, can I actually walk back here? Because I'll show you what I was dealing with wing views. We'll have to do that. If you want to bind proper wing views on this aircraft, exclamation point wing view, XP72 is going to talk you through what you need to change. He does it on a different airplane. I believe he does it on the fly-by-wire. But that's the one you're going to need to edit, do a little text edit to unlock yourself from the cabin. So you can see the cabin is very nicely done. But the only issue is you can't get close enough to the window to like really see proper wing views. But there's a workaround for that. And if you just watch the video on exclamation point wing view, shout out XP72. If you've never seen that video and you're going to watch it, tell him, just leave a comment, say thank you, tell him V1 sent you, because he's a stud. XP72, awesome dude. Oh, this is cool. I didn't see this. Look at this. So in the seat, in the headrest, outside air temp, our altitude, vertical speed, ground speed, we're doing 557 over the ground on a 1-3. Oh, look at this. I want updates. Wait a sec. Maybe I'm clicking stuff in the cockpit up there that I shouldn't be. Okay, I had to click the buttons. Had to click them. All right, let's go ahead and let's continue to walk through the cabin. So it's a 323 or 333 in the economy. 333, very nicely done. Look at these texture works. Let's zoom in on that. You got your overhead lights. Love this interior. Let's walk on back. Ah, there you go. iniBuilds says we're looking into custom camera CFG to help with wing views. Awesome. That's awesome, iniBuilds. Glad to hear it. So they're already looking at it. Maybe you won't even have to do that in the future. There's the lav. We can't go into the lav. We don't want to go in there anyway. Here's the exit. This is one of the overwing exits. I bet we get a nice view right there. Oh, there we go. That's real life. Look at that wing flex out there, guys. And again, I love iniBuilds did this. I think they were probably the best windows that we saw in X-Plane 11. Of all my time flying in X-Plane 11, we had some attempts at making windows, but iniBuilds came out of nowhere and they dropped awesome window views from their iniBuilds A310. And there's no slouch. These windows look very good. Look at the texturing work on the wing, a little bit dirt. Nice little flex out there too, little wing flex. Man. Let's go ahead and continue to walk back through the cabin here. Just a long airplane. I mean, it's not even nice. It's a long way to the lav. How do you download the Advanced 310? Is it in Marketplace? Yes. So if you are on PC, go into the Marketplace and just do a search in the search bar there for 310, and it'll bring up the enhancement pack. And it's a free download. I think it's like a little over a gig. You download that, and it will give you this cabin. So that's a good point. So this cabin does not come by default when you first install the airplane on PC. You need to download the enhancement pack. It's free, a little over a gig. Marketplace. Restart your sim after. Download it, install it, restart the sim, fire it up, and you're good to go. So the way I did it is I updated the sim, launched the 310. Takes a little while to load on the first time, as with every aircraft. That's normal. Once I got into the airplane, exit that flight, Marketplace, download, install, exit Microsoft Flight Simulator, reboot, load into the 310, and you're good to go. You'll have everything you need. Oh. Marketplace might be down. Okay, this is a nice little wing. I don't mind sitting back here. I feel like I need a mojito or something headed down here to... We need some vacation drinks. Let me text my wife. Maybe she'll bring me some. For those who don't know, for this channel, it started before I moved houses, and when I moved, the internet at the new house was not sufficient to stream. So I had two options. I can either stop being a content creator, or I could rent an office space. So now I actually stream from a V1HQ office space away from my house. But I wouldn't be able to do it if it wasn't for your guys' support that watch these videos, like the videos, donate, subscribe, and all that stuff. Especially the members. You know, the members and donos. It's cliche to say, but money does make the world go round. There are overhead expenses, and you guys are absolutely awesome supporters. So I couldn't be happier to do this kind of stuff for you guys. But yeah, so now I actually, if I need something, I got to text the wife, like, hey, can you bring me a pumpkin spice latte or a mojito? How do you get cabin on Xbox? I do not know if cabin on Xbox is a thing. So maybe iniBuilds can answer that question for you, but I do not know if that is a thing on Xbox. Let's continue to go all the way back. Live from V1 Studios in North Texas. Exactly, Steven. Exactly. And yes, Matt, this airplane is free. Kind of blows your mind, doesn't it? Here's that step up. So you can see the floor. There's in the 310 a little bit of a step up here to the aft galley. Whoa. This is very spacious. Heck of a lot more spacious than the 320 series. That is for sure. Look at that. The reason I'm not climbing my view right now is because I'm actually attached to my cockpit view, and if I adjust my vertical view, it might mess up my saved views. So we're kind of going around in like 4-foot mode. But oh, look at that. We can see right out the emergency exit. Look at that. That's cool. But why no cabin on Xbox? I don't know why, and I don't know if that's 100% true. No cabin. There we go. There's your answer. No cabin on Xbox currently. So maybe in the future. Who knows? But this is a guys. I can't tell you how many airplanes I've flown that are payware that do not have a cabin that come remotely close to this. I mean, this is high fidelity payware modeling that you're seeing. And the fact that you get it for free is just awesome. Look at this, sit right here. Now, you can't press these buttons, right? I thought maybe I could order refreshments. All right. Because I had the little click spot. I thought maybe there would be some Easter egg there or something. All right. We're good. How's that for a wing view? By far the best interior. Yeah, it's up there, man.
Rent, bourbon or coffee. Bank angle check.
Bank angle check. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate you, man. Bourbon or coffee, a bank angle check. Thank you, Scott, for a $50. Oh my God. Two of them came at the same time.
Going to need a refill gin and tonic delivered to my seat. Bring one up for me.
Scott, thank you so much, man, for the $50 bank angle check. Bank angle check right back at you, my friend. Seeing that bank angle check thing go off never gets old. I don't know if you guys have seen that video on YouTube, the 737, what's that, 400, 300? Bank angles are going off, and the captain's just like, yeah, bank angle check. And then they proceed to smash the airplane. So that never gets old, number one. Thank you so much, Scott, for a massive dono. I appreciate you, dude. Very, very kind and generous. Seat 2A also coming in with a $3 bank angle check. Going to need a refill gin and tonic. Hey, Seat 2A, thank you so much for your support, man. I'm coming up there right now. Seat 2A is where we're headed. So we're going to Seat 2 Alpha. It should be aircraft left, window seat. Should be pretty good seat up there, Scott. Seat 2A, appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support. So Seat 2A, is that first class? So that's 3. So Mr. Seat 2A is indeed right here, first class, second row. Oh, I thought I was stuck. There we go. So there's your view, man. You're looking out over the Baja. So that's one place I never want to ditch. When I'm ever flying over like the Baja, California area, I always think about Shark Week. You're like the most massive great whites that have ever been spotted were off the Baja, California. Baja, what's the name of it? It's not the Gulf of Mexico. Gulf of Mexico? Yeah, Gulf of Mexico right here. Some of the largest great white sharks ever have been found there. So whenever I fly over it, do not ever want to ditch into that water. But nice views. Douglas Phillips coming in with a $50 massive super chat as well. Douglas Phillips, man, thank you so much for that. He says, V1, thank you so much for the stream. A few months ago, there was a viral video of a first officer storming off the aircraft because of a tiff with the captain. What are your thoughts on that? What? I want to see. I've seen this video. Do you remember what airline it was? Either or. Douglas Phillips, thank you so much, man. Massive super chat. I appreciate you. CF Cortez, thank you, Tyson. CF Cortez, thank you. But Douglas Phillips, I appreciate that very, very much, sir. And I want to say I've seen that video. Either way, to answer your question, what do I think of that? Hey, man, I would rather my first officer storm off the airplane and be pissed and go home and they cancel the flight, delay the flight, find someone else, then have both of those guys up there fighting and arguing. That's just, I would rather have him storm off. So props for him getting off the airplane. Who knows what was said? I personally have seen, well, not me personally. Like I've never stormed off an airplane. Almost did once. But I know of people who have left the cockpit. I actually know of an incident. There was actually a physical altercation in the jet bridge because these guys were just going at it. But yeah, get it out of the cockpit, right? If you're in the cockpit, you have to get along. If you don't get along and you can't do your company stuff, you can't do your charts, procedures, call outs, all that stuff together as a unit, as a team, then just get off the airplane. Do I think he was terminated? It would depend on more. You'd have to have more information. So I know I know of a scenario that happened to someone that I'm aware of, and basically what happened, there was a first officer that got off the airplane. I believe it was post-flight, so the flight was done, and there was a physical altercation in the jet bridge, and he actually headlocked the captain. Police, everything showed up. Long story short, he was terminated briefly, but he got his job back because they pulled the cockpit tapes of what was going on in the cockpit prior to the flight ending, and they said, wow, okay, yeah, now we understand why. There was some really interesting dialogue going on between the two, and they determined it was justified, so he actually got his job back. Is there a way to set throttle detents? Yes, I'll show you that right now. And for my own mental sanity, is it iniBuilds or iniBuilds? Jody Doc, that's a great question. If you could answer that, that would be actually, I would actually like to know that. Is it ini or iniBuilds? Yes, because I've said both interchangeably. I'm not sure. So in your settings page, for those wondering about the throttles. Now, I don't want to do this while I'm flying, but basically you go to the settings tab right here on your EFB, and you go tap to calibrate, and you're going to manipulate your thrust levers to where it says. So it'll say select the idle detent. So you put it where your idle is, hit save, and then it says select Toga, and you move them up, and then you hit that, and then you hit save configuration at the very top. If you are doing it with the thrust reverser on the same axes, I was having an issue with that. It would not save my idle detent. So the only liveries available to Xbox users are distributed with the package. There you go. So if you are an Xbox user, the liveries that are available to you are the ones that come with the airplane. There's also the female Southwest FO going through her sexual harassment lawsuit right now. Unbelievable, the stuff. That's there is. Look, man. At the end of the day, we're all pilots, but we're all humans too, and personal issues do happen. It's just a thing. But getting off the airplane is the right thing to do in that case. Because trust me, you don't want to be up there in a flight deck with guys not getting along. It's just that's not the place for it. I've had to stuff my own, personality, whatever, because you got to be a chameleon at some point, right? You got to get along. If you don't agree politically, if you don't agree religiously, or whatever it may be, you have to remember that at the end of the day, you don't have to be best friends with this person sitting next to you. You just have to get this flight from A to B safely and do your job. So that's why you don't even bring up, you don't bring up politics, religion, or anything else like that, because that can breed very strong opinions on either side, and it just opens the door for arguments to happen. I agree. Nice dirty flaps. Exactly. Is there a passenger and cargo variant for the 310? I believe it's just a passenger variant. CRM, there you go, Jet Kid. Have I flown with anyone who has been pissed or awful to sit up? Yes, I have. I have indeed. There have been two in my career. One in my career where I refused to fly the airplane. I said, I'm going to run the checklist for this tonight. That's a good podcast story. But I basically said, you've got controls. And that's because I was at that point where it's like, stuff had happened after the door was shut, right? So then you got to remember, you're a professional, you're a paid professional, so do what is required of you and then go home, right? And so only one time in my career has it been to that point where it was like really bad. I had one other instance where it was more of a personality issue that I'm just like, God, I cannot stand this guy next to me, but there was no like hostility between the two of us, if that makes sense. But only one instance in my career where that's been pretty strong. Man, we are just ripping through this flight. We're only 400 miles left. Wow, we are absolutely ripping. All right, so wing views. So I've got my wing view here. So now, is that... one of these islands out here is where they film like the largest great white shark ever, the female pregnant one. I like sharks too. I like watching Shark Week and stuff. But Sea of Cortez out here, man, serious shark activity. So the wing view, as of right now, iniBuilds has mentioned that they're working on a custom CFG. But as of right now, if you want to bind your own wing views like these, basically you just have to change the position of a default camera to come outside of the airplane and bind the view. So exclamation point wing view, it'll bring you to a video from a good friend XP72. He'll walk you through it. For getting right side wing views, I actually don't have it bound, so I'm going to see if I can do that for you live, which might take a while. So we're going to come out. So you can see once if you follow that video on exclamation point wing view, you can basically move around the cockpit free. And this is going to be kind of fun because we get to look at the airplane really close up in flight. Look at the reflections. This is next level. So we have to bind wing views for the right wing. I've got wing views for the left wing, but I don't have them for the right wing. This is cool. Oh, maybe it won't let me go over to the right side. Hold on, we have to figure that out. Oh, I think I'm going to be locked to the left side of the aircraft. Dang it. Oh, no, maybe. Oh, no. Come on. Ah. Oh, wait. I think we got it. We got it. Oh, no. Yep, we're getting it. We're coming back. I mean, this is kind of a cool view right there. Look at that. Let's just take a minute. I just want to appreciate something here. It's kind of a weird view to stop on. But we are looking at this airplane. Never mind the reflections that are awesome, the texturing that's awesome. Look at the glass, and you can actually see through the glass to your cockpit with the circuit. You can actually make out the details of the chair, the circuit breakers. This is interesting. I mean, this is the 40th anniversary of Microsoft Flight Simulator. If you think back to when Flight Simulators first started coming out, when I first started simming in like FS98, I mean, this is mind-blowing that we are at this level of fidelity and graphical improvements, and the fact that this airplane is free. Get out of here. If I is still in the chat, we need positive rates. So here on the V1 channel, that's awesome, good deal. We do positive rate. So I just want to do a massive positive rate thank you to iniBuilds right now for their hard work. For coming, before they dropped the A300, I didn't even know who iniBuilds was. They dropped the A300 on the next plane. It was game changing. It was a new bar. And now they're bringing that new bar to Microsoft for free, and it's compatible on Xbox. I said it, if anybody could make a study level airliner that's compatible with Xbox and in Microsoft, it's iniBuilds, and it's frickin' free. Come on. I mean, what an anniversary, 40-year anniversary for Flight Sim. What a 40-year. I mean, look at the freaking seats in there. Look at this. There's circuit breakers and stuff. I mean, it's not even, it's unreal. It's a 3D cockpit behind the glass. I'm outside of the airplane at 35,000 feet doing 8.2 Mach. Good night. All right, let's go bind this wing view. I'm right there with you, Tyson. Unreal. All right, so what kind of engine view do we like? I kind of like the front. I like this one. That's the one right there. So we're going to save this one. So I'm going to do save that one. That's going to be my forward view that we're going to save. And then we're going to move a little bit. Oh, I got stuck. Oh, no, don't go back in there. Oh, no. There we go. Now we're going to come over here. We're going to save another view. Let's save one like right on the slats. I like the slat view, right? Oh yeah, that's good with the Delta widget. So now we're going to save this one. Thank you guys for getting the positive rates in there for iniBuilds. Thank you. All right, so that's number 2. And then we got to save a flap view, right? We got to do the flaps. We got to go all the way to the back. Brad K, what's up, man? Welcome to the stream, dude. Glad to have you on board, bro. How about this one right here? That looks pretty juicy to me. Saved. Done. Scuffix livery is on INI Manager. So now we should have all of our views saved. Boom. Look at that. Team Vodka, your McDo broke. What happened? What happened? I'm going to get... Is there a... Let's see. Maybe I need to put a link to that. INI Manager. Let me just put a link to it. There we go. So I'm going to unpin that one. We'll do this in all caps. LIVER liveries can be found for PC users only here. Done. There we go. Pinning the message. Done. The ATIS can break in the FMC. It's an issue we're aware of, but for now, please don't use the ATIS can break the Oh, okay. So the ATIS push button in the ACARs, I won't use it. I won't use it at all. We have pretty much stable weather. We know that we're rocking just preset weather for this flight because of the server issues. Is it necessary to set FPA in the FCU for RNP approaches? Now that is a 310 specific question that I imagine might even have to do with SOPs. So I don't have a good answer for you. But yeah, that's it. I'd be interested to know myself. How are we doing, by the way? So we're 350. Everything's looking good. We are 343 miles out. Systems look good. What's our... Let's go to our prog. Oh, we're on prog. Where's flight plan? There we go. What I was trying to look for is the fuel. Where can I find my estimated fuel on landing? What's the reference page? Oh, cool. So we're going to just do the visual down there into Cancun. I don't even have charts. I didn't even think about that. We don't have charts. We don't have any charts. I don't want to use the Navigraph thing on top of the menu because it messed up my sim last time. So we're going with no charts, folks. Prog page, then fuel predict. Did I miss that? Let me see. I just want to make sure we're not burning too much. So fuel, prog. Oh, there it is. Thank you. Estimated fuel on board, 21.1. Okay, good. We got plenty of gas. Good, good, good. I just wanted to make sure everything was kosher there because we're going a little bit faster than our cost index speed. On the lat revision line, I'll check that out. Cool. Thank you, man. Appreciate you. Watching V1 before going to work. Thanks for flying the widget plane. Joe P. Absolutely, man. My pleasure, dude. I think we might have to do... We'll have to see what liveries come out. Because we might have to do a PVA stream. Look at the reflection off the wings there. Look at that. Look at the like that metal, brushed metal texture. That's just awesome texturing. Awesome. Long haul Pan Am vibes. Oh boy. I must have skipped right over the liveries when I was going through the liveries because I was looking for that Pan Am one. But we might have to do Pan Am, PVA. That would be fun. I want to do a little bit of testing. I want to see how GSX integration works. I want to do some full testing on my end. Let's turn this down to 25. Let's see. Wow, and the sliders actually work nicely. Look at that. This airplane is just so nice to look at. I don't know where to stop, where to put it. Oh wow, look at the reflection off the window. That's kind of sick with the black nose. Pan Am 310 into Kai Tech. Oof. Eastern's a good one. Microsoft tweeted online services should be fixed. Awesome, Tango Delta. Rotor Fib looking for good. Yeah, Rotor Fib. I was gonna be looking at that too. Pan Am 819 Papa Alpha available now. Okay, good. I know it's there. I saw somebody post a screenshot of my Discord right before I launched. I'm like, oh, I should have done that one. Maybe we'll do that tomorrow. I don't know. I haven't decided if we're gonna do another stream tomorrow. We might have to, just because. We might just have to, because this is too much fun. We might have to do another stream tomorrow morning. Pan Am, PVA. For those, and somebody asked this question in chat earlier. They said, what's the best way to find old historic roofs of the 310? There are ways you could do it on Google, but I'm going to tell you right now. One of my favorite VAs out there, and I'm only part of 2 of them, so they're both my favorite, but I really like the way the Piedmont Virtual Historical Group does their VA. So it is all based on historic timetables, historic routes, the airframes line up. So within PVA, if you select to fly a Pan Am or whatever, it will actually show you where you can fly to or from, real time, real route. Like, it's legit. The documentation is there, everything is there. So if you are kind of like an aviation history fan like myself, like new aviation is cool and all that, but I especially have a soft spot in my heart for the old school aviation, A300, A310, 727s, old defunct airlines that are no longer with us, Northwest, T-Way, Pan Am, obviously. If you love that stuff, you got to check out the PVA Historical Group as a virtual airline. The VAMSys is awesome, the way it works. I've done a couple streams with them before. I've done the V-Spirit, which same system but just a different airline, right? So got to check that out if you want to find routes and if you want to really go, okay, I want to go full immersion, I want to be realistic with this airplane, then that's where you go. That's where you go, man, for sure. There we go. Look at that. Hopefully the audio levels are good now. Old flying was definitely more varied. Indeed, Chaos, indeed. I mean, imagine, like, when I think of, okay, we're going to do a long haul, or even in today's world, they're firing up the 7.4, 350s, 321 Neos going across the pond. Imagine firing up the old A300 or the A310. Like, your backup navigation is the frickin' stars, and you're going across the water at night. Like, the true pioneers of aviation, man. The true pioneers of aviation back in the day. And I love it. I love everything about it. I can smell the oil and grease in the seats from looking at these airplanes. It's awesome. Joe P says, because of V1, I bid to go fly the 320 after 20 years on the Boeing. Joe P, that's awesome, man. Are you on it now? You like it better? I haven't known a single Boeing driver to go to the bus and be like, oh, I want to go back to my Boeing. It's always, oh, I missed the bus, or always the other way around. Nowadays, you can choose to have your magenta line with a side stick or a yoke. Exactly, Chaos. Short final, pin message. Is VATSIM required? No, it is not, Crimson Ghost. It is not required for PVA or V-Spirit. Although so basically there's a ranking system and point system. So when you're flying, you're accumulating points for your profile. And I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe if you are on VATSIM, I think you might get a few extra points. Don't hold me to it though. Allegheny, there you go. That's an old school airline indeed. Between the 310 and my recent obsession with TWMD-80, I'll have to join PVA. Steven, exactly. Hey man, even with my thoughts on the Leo, I was itching to get the yoke-driven aircraft out again. This might scratch that itch for a while, but I might give Leo another shot here. We might give the Leo another shot. We need a couple mods to make it work good, but this is a proper change of simulators for a product. So I was saying that about the Leonardo. Let me change this on too. It's a little bit too aggressive. So like the Leo, I said it right off the bat. I was like, it just is a straight port from P3D. There's nothing new. There's like, it didn't fit well. Now you can make it fly really good. You change the aileron effectivity on there. You get a sound pack for it. Decent airplane. It's a highly simulated airplane. There's no doubt about it. The Leonardo's got some nice simulation depth to it. Just the way it was brought over, and they just drop it like, oh, just to be the first payware airplane. Didn't like that. Didn't sit well with me. This airplane, A310, was absolutely phenomenal in X-Plane 11. And bringing it to Microsoft, it's not just a flat-out port. The EFB is completely different and reworked. The airplane has taken advantage. Look at the texturing and the reflections. We've already walked around the airplane. I mean, the texturing and the reflections of the airplane reflect that of the capabilities of this simulator. That's where I feel some of these developers that want to port stuff from sim to sim, specifically P3D to Microsoft, they just want to port stuff over for a quick paycheck. They're not taking full advantage of the platform itself. And, you know, that's why, like, you got PMDG, Phoenix, the iniI310 now, all taking full advantage of the sim platform for what it is and bringing us fully new products, even though it's the same airplane. Oh, I would love to see an L1011, Steven. You and me both, man. Matthew, they're updating the Leo soon. Interesting. I might hang tight then to see what the latest update brings. Crimson Ghost, I know, man. A 727. I haven't seen anybody say anything remotely about a 727. If a 727 or L1011 dropped for Microsoft, I would legit take a week off of work and just fly around the world in said 727 or L1011. That would legit happen. Unfortunately, though, I don't really see that coming. I was hoping FlyJ Sim would get on the train of Microsoft and bring their 7.2 over. I love the 7.2 in X-Plane 11. They did a fantastic job with it. Does wind uplink work? Not sure. I'm not testing it right now because of the server issues. We have a locked-in weather, so I'm not running live weather right now because of the previous server issues. But we'll definitely get in. We'll test that in future flights. Yeah, FlyJ is very embedded in X-Plane. And, I mean, they made great products for X-Plane. The Q400, phenomenal. 7.2, phenomenal. I liked them all. I really did. I didn't think there was a bad FlyJ airplane out there. Jeremy says, Jeremy, what's up, man? Good to see you, dude. He says, I'm a software developer, and I love things that feel native. This airplane feels native to Microsoft. Exactly, Jeremy. That's a great way of putting it. Even though it's the same airplane that we've had before, it feels native in that of which it's in Microsoft. Now, here's something I need to remember, and I probably should have checked the documents training. So we are approaching. We got at or above 2,000. I guess I can see the altitude constraints in here. In NECA, basically 4,000 at Merak. So I'm going to set 4,000 up here as we get ready to approach top of descent. Matter of fact, I'm going to set 10,000 because I don't have an actual chart with me. I'm going to set 10,000 feet. And let's see, we got 10,000 set. If I go back to managed speed, no, I don't want 0. 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 Rip. Come back, come back, come back. Oh no, look at these engines. Look at this. User error. User error. These engines take a while to respond. That's another thing. Power performance, power management, energy management is huge on this airplane. Look how much airspeed we lost there just that brief time. All right, I thought I could push it in for profiled speed, but we'll leave it at 8.1. That's fine. All right, so with that said, I'm gonna just do some. Let's just do some mental mathing here. Matter of fact, let's go here. Let's go here. Do we have a? That's a star. On that, it does tell you. Okay, so if I look at Merak, I can do airway star hold on Merak. All right, cool deal. What's vertical deviation do? There's my altitudes at or below 250. Okay. Oh, and it gives you the and it gives you the speed. That okay. So that's what I was looking for earlier. So if I want to know what my fuel burn, how much fuel we can have on board at Merak intersection, it looks like estimating 21.4 at Merak. Cool deal. Cool deal. And then if I go to prog page, next page over, or just prog page, optimum fuel prediction page, 21.2. So basically, we're not burning any gas. Morocco inbound is the, I think that's the final, right? Beeline Pilot, that is on the marketplace. So go to the marketplace, just search A310, and it would say free download. It should be just a little over a gig in size. And you download that, restart the simulator, and it'll give you the upgraded textures and cabin as well. But I mean, yeah, this is. I'm gonna zoom in. I mean, that's as zoom as I can get. Just look at those textures. This is, people say, you know, if you have fuzzy textures, it might be because you don't have the enhancement pack. Because this is, I don't see anything fuzzy or not high quality out there. This is as high quality as it gets. It is up there with the best of them. It is as good as, I mean, you can even see, I don't think you guys can see it, but I can see little speckles. I can't tell what are real speckles on glass or what's actually on my monitor. Okay, that's actually on my monitor. Those are on the glass. I mean, unbelievably well done. Absolutely well done. We're just ready to start down, so we'll do a little bit more wing view here, and then we're going to get in the cockpit and ride it all the way down. Statui coming in with the 250 Mexican pesos. Dude, thank you so much, man, for that dono. Super generous of you. Really appreciate that. He says, landing at my home airport. Statui, really? This is your home airport? Fun fact about Cabo, Statui. My first ever flight as a captain in the Airbus, when I upgraded to the Airbus years ago, my first ever flight I got called out for was going to Cabo. So it's also near and dear to my heart. Kind of why we're also going to Cabo today. Put two and two together. You see what I'm going at now? But that's awesome, Satui. Thank you so much for your support, man. I appreciate you. We're going to have a nice flight going in here. Thank you for your support. I'm glad you're enjoying the content, my friend. My computer doesn't have enough disk space for the update. What can you, Regs? You only have two options. You either get rid of something or you get more space, my friend. Okay, so I got 10,000 set. I'm going to hit profile. So we are profile speed, profile descent. That's what I was trying to get to earlier. All right, so we're joining the vertical deviation, VNAV. Airplane is pitching down, and I did it right on time, so it took a little minute to catch up. Now it's stabilizing. We are profile speed, profile descent. We're heading down to 10,000 because I don't have any charts with me like a bad real fake pilot. So we're just going to wing it. We're going to get visual with the airport, and we're going to hand fly the sucker in. And this landing that you see on stream will be my first ever attempted landing with this airplane. So you get to see it live. Should be interesting. Hopefully we don't smash it. Steven says, I'm glad I offered the enhanced pack for PC users. Couldn't agree more, Steven. And that's kind of what I was thinking. Oh, there's our cabin view. Let's enjoy our... there's no window here at this seat. But look, you can even see we're starting down. That's so cool. But Steven, you're absolutely right. I was wondering myself, I'm like, how is I going to make it to the level that we expect on PC? Because there's no doubt about it that PC, you can make it look better on PC than Xbox. I still think that's true to this day. I know there's some debate about that, but with the graphics cards we have now, I just think PC still has the lead. And I was thinking, I was like, man, if it's going to be Xbox compatible, I don't know. I had my reservations, but I knew if anyone would do it, it would be I&I, and they smashed it out of the park. That enhancement pack, giving us a cabin, the higher textures is just perfect. Absolutely perfect. Delta's to bring this plane back. Yeah, exactly. Ooh, night view. Ooh, maybe we'll have to do a night flight tomorrow. I tell you what, here's the deal. I'm not 100% certain yet, but there is a high probability that maybe we'll do an early morning stream tomorrow. And that altitude is at or above 20. So I'm going to set 20 up here, just so we stay somewhat on profile. I apologize for not having my charts ready to go, but if we stream tomorrow, we'll do a dawn departure, so it'll be dark. We'll have all the night lighting up, and then we'll do a dawn departure and land somewhere in the morning. Cause it's college football, man. We gotta get home and watch some football tomorrow. Do I ever overnight in Cabo? It's been a while, Statui. Been a while. Shaq Oatmeal, what's going on, man? Good to see you, dude. Thank you for the continued support. 16 months, man. Absolutely awesome. Thank you for the support, Shaq. I appreciate you, man. It says another month of witnessing greatness. Appreciate you, man. Very kind to you. Hope all is well. Hope you're getting that training sorted out, my friend. Indeed, indeed. Xbox is resource limited. PCs have the ability for more RAM, more GPU memory, which makes a big difference. There you go. I hope the Cowgirls lose to Aaron Rodgers on Sunday. VT, Jake, come on, man. Why you gotta come at me with that hatred? No, dude, here's the thing. Cowboys, it would be 100% exactly like the Cowboys to lose this game against the Packers on Sunday. So if it happens, not surprised whatsoever. I'll be pissed, but I'm actually kind of expecting it because that's just what the Cowboys do. They're going to go into a game, they should totally dominate and totally win, but it would be so same old Cowboys if we lose this game against Aaron Rodgers. Just mark my words. We'll reconvene on Monday. We'll see who's right, who's wrong. Man. Yeah, I think Rodgers is too, Lauren, but I'm just telling you, it would be the most Cowboys thing ever for them to lose this game. Look at that. Oh, didn't mean to turn my audio off. If there's not a way, they'll find a way to lose that game. Exactly. I'm going to watch the Seahawks versus Bucks in Munich live. Awesome, Max. That's cool, man. First Munich game ever. It's going to be neat. Brad K, thank you for the $4 super chat, man. He says, go Jets. Brad K, I'm with you, buddy. I'm with you, man. Hey, you know the best part about a bye week, Brad, is you can't lose. You know? We can't lose on a bye week, which is good. So I'm hoping we got to root for whoever's playing Buffalo. I think is it the Ravens? We got to root against Buffalo and Miami because Patriots have a bye week as well. Thanks for your support, man. Jeremy says next stream needs to be this airplane. Jeremy, it will be. Promise you that, my friend. All right, I am on descent. Let me grab my coffee. I'll be right back. We are back, and we have the first ever of the season peppermint mocha. We need a peppermint mocha and pumpkin spice latte emoji. It's a little early, I thought, though, for peppermint mochas. Man, we're gonna need a peppermint mocha emoji in chat. Just what I needed for descent. All right, how are we doing? What's the airplane doing? Everything good? Everything's good. We're descending. One of these islands, I think it's this one. I honestly think it's this island right here, guys, that the largest great white shark was ever filmed on. I think it was that one. Could be wrong, though. It's one of these islands out here. One time I was flying over the Sea of Cortez, which is this sea right here, and we had an in-op generator, and taking off out of Cabo, going back to Dallas, we had an APU auto shutdown. And I'm like, nope, We are not going to continue with one generator over the Sea of Cortez. No thank you. So, looped around, went back to Cabo. Steven, thank you for the $5, man. Appreciate you. It says, Cowboys, Jets, get out of here. Go Niners. Steven, my grandfather, who played a very large role in my life, die-hard Niners fan, man. Die-hard Niners. So I root for them, too. If I got to pick an NFC team, go Niners. Such history with that, man. With that team. Crazy history. You're more of an Eagles guy, Javier? Oh, dude. I feel bad for you, my friend. Although your team is rocking right now. All right, so we'll end up just doing some level changes here on descent, most likely. 20,000 or below, 15,000. So we'll just stay on this little descent profile. We'll manage it. Listen to the sound, though. Listen to that. Let's turn up the bass. Oh yeah. Love it. What did Mike P say? Oh. Yeah. For any livery questions, I'm probably going to be running out of booze. Yeah, Mike, I hear you, dude. It is literally pinned in all caps at the top. Worthy to note, though, if you're an Xbox user, the only liveries you get are what is provided per whatever you had for your install. That's how I understood it. Scott, thank you so much, man, for the 20 months. 4 months until the V1 epaulets. Indeed, dude. Yeah, so that's awesome, man. Thank you for the continued support, Scott. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, you're getting ready to ditch the captain bars and be officially V1 certified. And then all you have to do there is wait for to have your winging ceremony or your pinning ceremony. Shaq, you're an Eagles fan too? Oh, dude, I had such higher hopes for you, man. You're an Eagles fan, dude? Oh, God, I hate the Eagles. Statui gifting 20 subs in chat. Guys, that is awesome. That is a massive dono. Statui, thank you so much, my friend, for the 20 gifted subscribers. Guys, if you pick up a special free month subscription to the channel, make sure you thanks to Tui. Make sure you check the community tab. I've got shorts videos on there for all my members. I've got podcasts for all my members. I've got a special section in the Discord for all my members. So exclamation point welcome will give you the information on what you need to do for that. But all the members, all the new members that have joined the channel, thank you so much. I appreciate you very much. I was actually going to make a new shorts video the other day for the last trip I did, but I didn't have enough footage. So what I'm probably going to end up doing is I'll just put it all together and just do B-roll shorts. I try to make my shorts videos. For those who don't know, a shorts video is basically 15 seconds, and I do it when I go out on a real-world trip. And I combine a couple of clips here and there, and at each shorts video, I try to tell the story, whether it's the story of my trip, day 1, day 2, day 3, whatever it may be, or sync it up to a song. So I try to be a little creative with it. This last one, I just didn't have anything creative other than the $20 teriyaki bowl I had to buy from LAX, which is unbelievable. Last time I had my teriyaki bowl in LAX, it was like $11.75. I hadn't had it in a long time, and I went and had it on this weekend at $20, man. Freaking insane. But thank you, Stu. Appreciate the support, man. Kenny Meyer says there's only 2 NFL teams, Joe Montana Niners and Favre's Packers. Oof. Swarm is in the chat. Swarm, I see it. Swarm has his official wings, so Swarm has been pinned. So for those unfamiliar, in the U.S., I don't know if this tradition is the same in Europe or where have you, but when you make it to a legacy carrier or a mainline carrier, we have what's called a pinning ceremony. Some call it a winging ceremony, but basically once you're officially onboarded to the airline, you get your wings. So that's what I've got I believe that's, what is that, the 30... Is that 36 months? What is that badge, Swarm, where we go all the way up to the winging ceremony? And then I think there's one even after that I've got where you get 4 sets of wings. But cool deal. It's cool to see those. I love how the epaulets are because the wings really stand out, Chad. I feel like each epaulet stands out more and more as you progress through the ranks. All right, airplane is doing airplane things. How is our fuel and CG doing? Let's pull up the fuel page. We're looking good. CG is 34.6. We got trim tanks, outer tanks. Everything is looking good and balanced. We got 46,000 pounds of fuel on board. That is good. TAT and icing range, that's normal, but we're no visible moisture, so we don't need to worry about that. This is a nice steady descent down into Cabo San Lucas. You're a Tampa Bay fan? I don't mind the Bucks, man. I like Tom Brady. I actually used to hate Tom Brady when he was with the Patriots, but then I realized I just hate the Patriots, and I like Tom Brady. So I pull for him, man. And there we go. There's the trim tank. I remember now. This is the trim tank, right? Isn't that the trim tank right here? So we talked about moving CG aft when we were in the climb out at about 24,000 feet. The tank valve logic automatically opened up, started moving fuel to the aft trim tank, to bring our CG aft, and I think that's part of the trim tank right there. Those are the pack inlets down there. Cool deal. Might be. Oh, you're killing me. Toga button is in the lab on the 310. The Toga button, I showed you where to bind it in the beginning of the stream. You have to search for, it's under the autopilot command. And it's TO space GA. If you search Toga, it's not there, which that's a Microsoft issue. How do I feel about the Baltimore Ravens? I feel like I'll have a much stronger opinion about the Ravens, Jeremy, later on this season, because no doubt they are a strong contender on the AFC, and my number one team, AFC, on the Jets. So I think I'll have more information on that later on in the season. Toga button is in the cockpit, blank button on the left. Really? Where? This one? Is that the Toga button? I know INI normally includes a hidden click spot for Toga if you don't have it bound. I bound mine, but maybe it's that one there. All right, we're leveling 20. What's our next step down? It'll be 15,000. So once we level here at 20... That's supposed to be at or above 20. Will she comply? Wow, look, it's complying. Now let me see. If I set 15, it arms the descent, right? Yeah, so we're armed at 15. Cool deal. I feel like the wind noise is picked up a little bit as we descended down into thicker air. Do you guys hear that too? So, and that's kind of unless I'm crazy, so realistically how it works is you take off low level, it's extremely loud, and then once you get up like above 24, 25, get into the 30s, it's actually quiet, it gets quieter, the wind noise, and then as you descend back down it gets louder again, and then it gets quieter as you slow down as you descend. But it seems like there is definitely some audio, yeah, it's definitely louder. So there you go, look at that. I mean, they've even got that simulated. That cannot be an accident. We're doing 7.0, 320 Mach at 20,000 feet. It would be loud up here right now, and it is indeed loud. That is neat, man. These guys, these devs are awesome. Blew it out of the park. V1 Connect to late to stream, but what do you think of the gift from Azobo Microsoft, the 310 with the 310? Super deal. Unreal. I cannot believe that they're offering this airplane for free. I can't believe it. Can't believe it. You now have on the Microsoft platform a free study level, highly complex, let's just call it on the line. We'll call it an on the line, highly complex airliner for free in the 310. You also have a very good normal system. Essentially, all normals are pretty much complete in the fly-by-wire 320 Neo. So now you have a modern Airbus and an old Airbus that are of payware quality, no doubt about it, because I've flown payware airplanes that are worse, way worse than the fly-by-wire and way worse than the 310. So they are of payware quality, and you get them both for free in Microsoft with global ortho, incredible graphics, like X-Planes in chat, people. Just X-Planes in chat. And a PMDG 73600 for $35. Yeah, and now, okay, so then we get into the payware market on Microsoft. You got PMDG. You got a Phoenix 320. Come on, dudes. Come on. All we're missing now is weather radar. Indeed, Crimson Ghost. Speaking of, is there a terrain push button? Oh, there is. Look at that. We'll have to see if there's any terrain that pops up as we get closer. I feel like was I supposed to do something else with terrain? So these are your weather control down here. Right? Can't remember. BAE 146, exactly. Weather radar. Wait a second. What? No, stop it. No. iniBuilds says weather radar works. What? That can't be possible. The tilt is on. How do I do a... go system 1. Max. Gain knobs work. Whoa! We've got a test function. X-Plane needs to explain themselves, Jeremy. No pun intended. Wow. So, what I'd be curious is we might have to find ourselves a thunderstorm. All right, let's get out of the test. Let's go. Mapping function? We need to get a little bit lower. Wow. We'll put terrain up. We'll let terrain do what? Let's see. So, it's the Azoba one, yes, but it's refined by them quite a bit. It no longer shows just clouds and returns moisture. Alright, I'm done. I'm done. This airplane should not be free. This airplane should not be free. So the weather radar, there's looks like he's got iniBuilds in the chat saying so it does work. And it's been refined by Azobo to actually return precipitation and not clouds. Unbelievable. Is this real life? I think this is real life. I think this is real life. If I change to live weather right now, I don't believe there's any weather here in Cabo. Let me pull up my radar. Let me see what's going on here. Man, I should have done a flight out of Dallas today. Yeah, there's nothing happening down there south of Cabo. Maybe we need to do a second leg. Maybe we need to go like New Orleans to Dallas or something. What time is it? 2:30? 2:40? This is sim-wide improvements for weather radar. Awesome. So this is part of the sim update 11, I guess, coming in, right? That's neat. That is neat. Oh, no, full standard still. We still want that. All right, so we are profile descent armed. We're at 20. Now this is something I don't remember. Do I have to... Does it automatically start down? I cannot remember in the 310. I think I have to manually start it down, don't I? We're going to do a full visual approach. I think we've got the RNAV or something in there, but we're going to, as soon as we start getting visual, we will cut it off. We'll hand fly it. I want to do a pure hand flown approach in there. I want to get a true feeling for the airplane. How to tune the ILS. If there was an ILS, which we do not have up at this airport, but old school, right here. So center pedestal, you want to make sure you program the proper ILS frequencies. So whatever the frequency was, you put it here, and your course, make sure you tune that in. And then your DH, or your decision height, I believe you can set it right here, right? So we could theoretically set a decision height of 200, which would just be 200 rad alt, right? So that'll just give us just something to be a reference of. Now, typically you don't really use rad alts a lot. Now on these older airplanes, I don't know. I think you would just set this to whatever the MSL altitude was. So if it was 200 was your minimum, but it was 100 field elevation, you would actually set this to 300 because this will be your MSL altitude in readout right here. And look, it already started down. It started down on its VNAV to meet 15,000 at Barux. Awesome. In the turn. Screenshot. Oh my goodness. Screenshot. My liver can't take a second leg, but I'm down. I am flying with the yoke today, Kyle Ferris, so I typically have control cam up for you guys. I wasn't sure which controller I wanted to use. So I have, I'm sponsored here by Throttletek, have the fantastic Flightbox V3 for the Airbus. I also have the 737 levers. I initially started binding everything for my Throttletek. So believe it or not, I can start engines, I can move flaps, parking brake, trim, everything with my Throttletek thrust levers, but I think I might want to change it to the Boeing levers because I'll have more range of motion, and I think that might be a little bit more realistic to what we see here, because on the A300 you don't have any detents, right? It's not like an Airbus. So I might set it up for the 7.3. I haven't decided yet. Once I do have all my bindings completely done, you can indeed expect control cam to come back on. And I am using the Thrustmaster TCA yoke for this aircraft as well. All right, so we're out of 18,000 feet. We'll hit our barrel reference key. I believe it's 17.5. 290902, we'll set that. What is our stage? Yeah, 290902. Cool. 290902 is set 1, 2, and 3 times. Let's take a look at the checklist. Let's like actually try to be somewhat realistic here. So let's pull out our checklist. There's an approach. Do we have a descent after takeoff climb? So that would be the next one. Signs, briefing, ECAM, altimeters, minimums, ignition, landing elevation. Ooh, somebody let me know what the landing elevation is for Cabo San Lucas. Anybody got a landing elevation? I'm going to have to turn the sim down a little bit here. It's got nice and loud. We're on the VNAV path. Let's go all the way down to, I don't know what to set it at. 2,000. Let's set it at 2,000. 350 or so. So 350, Team Vodka? 350, thank you. We'll set 350 field elevation. So this is important for multiple reasons. We're going to do 3. I think we round up, right? Round up to the nearest 50, so 400. Cabby YT, check out the pinned message, my friend. Shaq says, I think it's just personal preference. Each sim has a pro and con. Enjoy whatever it is you're flying and grease on. I like that. Keep calm and grease on, Shaq. I like that phrase. You're absolutely right, man. Absolutely right. It's definitely been a while since I've been to Cabo. Look at this, though. This is awesome. Could you repeat where and which file need to download for the A310 Marketplace? Kenny Myers, if you just type in at the Marketplace search there, 310 or A310, it should be one of the first things that pops up. All you're looking for is the A310 enhancement pack, and I believe the download is just over a gigabyte in size. Airport elevation is 692? Really? That doesn't seem right. Mike P. What's your personal favorite, most nostalgic commercial jet? 727 with a close second of the L1011. But I gotta go 7.2 just because I can almost feel the window when I was a little kid. I believe it was SFO 727 at the window, power back. I could feel the vibration through the glass from the 727 doing a power back, and I'm like, I want to do that. So very memorable for me. That's probably my. But I love all the tri-jets, even the modern ones, MD-11, DC-10, you know. But I think the 7.2 specifically, and then the L-1011, just because the L-1011 is so unique in what it did and how it changed the way things are done with flight control surfaces and stuff. It's a neat airplane. All right, we are going to do this. We're going to go level change. I'm going to do manual speed 250. Why don't we do this? Let's set 4,000, level change 250, speed brake out. So I'm still using my speed brake for. Look at that. Look at the nice dirty flaps out there too. So nice. Ooh, we need to get flight recorder up. Flight recorder is ready. The old Tritanic, exactly. L-1011 TriStar, man. Epic airplane, it really is. Direct lift control, powerhouse, awesome all around. All right, takeoff approach speeds. We're gonna do, let's do 30, 40. Yep, 30, 40. VAP is 145, no wind correction. TRP is an auto. We're on the descent down. We're looking good, folks. Oh, yeah. Brian Penderson, don't worry, man. A lot of people are going to be in the same boat as you. This airplane can definitely be a little overwhelming if you first get in it and you really don't have any Airbus experience. But have no fear, my friend. Pick your favorite YouTube streamer. I'm pretty sure everybody's going to be streaming it this weekend. Pick little things out. Go to the startup shutdown. iniBuilds actually has their own tutorials as well. You can check there. But I think the biggest change for a lot of people, especially maybe in the Xbox community, is this is going to be your first grasp at a high fidelity airplane. And the thing is, you can't just fire up your console and think, oh, I'm just going to go fly around. Like, no, it's a whole nother level of simulation, and it takes some time, it takes some reading, it takes some practice. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, when you complete your first flight in a high fidelity airplane, the level of satisfaction that you're going to gain is like nothing, like none other airplane. So it's worth it. Don't feel overwhelmed. Start with one little thing at a time and then work up from there, man. All right, so we're going to level at 4, and then I will slow to once I just start popping out the speeds. What was our VAP? 145. 379 is the okay, cool. Thank you, Velociraptor. Shouldn't be an issue. We don't have any like so 379 plus 2 would be, oh no, it would be 579 is really where we would set our little situation here. Maybe I should have been spinning this back instead of that. Coming back to 160 now. And flaps 1 or 5, right? I don't even know what it's called. All right, we are slowing down on speed now. We can set 2,000. You know, we do have an approach loaded in the box. There's those flap sounds. Love it. Let's get the recording on now. Now this will be a really interesting test. Is we're going to see how the recording software I use. Oh boy. As I stall. There we go. This ain't your mother's Airbus. Landing gear coming down. Oh man. Alright, as soon as we get visual, we're shutting it all off. We need to bug 145. Flaps 30, 40. Okay, cool. Flaps are 30, 40. Coming back to 144. Autopilot is off. I'm going to just turn that on. Disengage you. Flaps are down. Gear is down. Auto thrust is off. So now I have the thrust levers. We're going to need some speed because we are way slow out here on final. And now we've got the online services unreachable message. Team Vodka dropping 20 gifted subs. Dude, you're a legend, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, man. Absolutely awesome. Positive rates for Team Vodka. Dude, you're awesome. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate the support. Guys, shout out Team Vodka if you pick up a membership from him. That's absolutely awesome, man. Thank you, dude. So we actually configured way too early here. You know what? Why don't we do this? Since I want to hand fly it and do some testing with it, let's clean up. We're going to go up one notch. We're going to bring the gear up because I do want to hand fly this thing around a little bit. Let's get her set in here. We'll keep coming down to 2,000, about 160. We know our VAP is 145. That seems low. I think we need to be at least 145 and 5, maybe 150. Either that or there is a high possibility that we inputted our weights wrong. There's a high likelihood of that. But, I mean, I've got her trimmed out here. We're 2,200 feet. Slight descent coming down to 2,000. Feeling good. Thank you, Team Vodka, though, man. That's awesome. I really appreciate that, dude. I'll take care of that. So we're cleaned up. So my sounds are much quieter outside now because I have that slider, which is awesome. Love sound sliders. Matter of fact, I'm going to stop that recording and we will start a new recording here. There we go. New recording is set. 2,000 feet, 180. We're looking good. This is much better profile here. Now let's go gear down. Arm the speed brakes. Is my seat too low? I don't know. I don't think so, Gustavo. It might be, but I like seeing just the bottom of the screen there, so. All right, let's go full 30-40 for cinematic purposes. Oh, watch that speed there. I gotta refresh all my speeds again. My takeoff and landing speeds, my flap speeds. 180 is out the limit. Looks like that's the VFE there, 180 for a 30-40, so. Got that one memorized now. All right, I see the runway. We're visual. Gear is down to land, clear to land. Speed brakes are armed. A little bit low, correcting. Man, hand flying this airplane. So look at this power management. I need more power. My power management is terrible. bit low, correcting. Don't really want to climb if I can help it. Just level off here at 1,000 feet, get back on that profile. This is the first ever landing I've done in this airplane too. Probably should have done a practice one. There we go. Now that looks much better. Alright, now we're looking good. A little bit high, correcting. A little bit of turbulence coming over the mountain there. A little bit high, correcting. I'm scared to bring the power back on this thing because I know how slow it is to come back.
Seat rate.
Check. Spoilers, reverse screen, manual brakes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our first touchdown. Ooh, let's see if we can heat up the brakes. I'm going to slam on them, see if we can make this turn here. Stow the reversers, 70 knots. I got on those brake pretty hard. I kind of want to see what kind of brake temperature simulation we got. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to San Jose del Cabo International. Look at that wing view there. Freaking awesome. That was a butter. Pretty sure that was a butter. Let's clean it up. Stow the speed brakes. Let's go back here. We have to listen to this. This is just the best sound ever. Love the engine idle sound? Yeah, when we came down to idle. Trying to turn onto the taxiway and wing view here, don't mind me. Just those flap sounds are awesome. Look at the slats going in. Look at the texturing on that. Love it, man. I think that was a pretty good turn. That's a little bit loud. We need to go back to our settings. Let's turn you down a little bit. We'll stop the recording there. Let's take it to the ramp. Look at that, guys. Look at this. Okay. Remember I told you in cruise, if you slam on the brakes, hot brake, I talked about that. Look at that. Our hot brake is actually amber as well. So we have hot brakes. We're over 415. And look, they're not even symmetrical, which I love. 355 and 410 on this side. So one brake, I was on the left brake a little bit more. We'll go ahead and turn on the brake fans. Typically, you wouldn't turn those on until you get to the gate. But if you're taking off, you can't take off. You get the proper ECAM, delay takeoff. Roger that. Clear brakes. Then you come down here and hit clear. All right, that's associated. That is awesome. And look, it auto-populated the wheel page for me, and the brake temps are going to start cooling down as we got the fan on over there. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. We'll take it over here to the ramp, even though I'm S-turning all over the place, and we'll take a look at this replay. We got to see this replay. Smash the like button for hot brakes. Blue Bear says, great landing. You are forgiven for taking us into Coffin Corner earlier. Thank you, Blue Bear. I appreciate you, man. Yeah, that was something, huh? 2,000 feet above max recommended altitude. Almost stalled it. Heck, we almost stalled it there on final, too. How to get the cabin? There is a free enhancement mod on the workplace, workspace, work store, marketplace. Please. Mike P. donating $1 more than Team Vodka. Mike P, dude, thank you so much for the $21 bomb. You did indeed donate $1 more than Team Vodka. Appreciate you, Mike P. You're awesome, man. Thanks for the support. You've been awesome this stream too, Mike P. Telling people where to go for the proper liveries. Gets exhausting sometimes, I know. Thank you so much, man. All right, let's go ahead and bring it up here to a stop, and then we're going to look at the replay mode. I think we should do let's do a full shutdown, right? So we can hear the shutdown, and then we'll just do a state save or a state load for replay. because I kind of want to hear what the shutdown sounds like. What I can do is, let's try this. Let's go to configuration here. Nope. What do I want? I want here. I want GPU available. All right, GPU is available. We'll go GPU on. Oh boy. Let's spool them down. Team Vodka comes in with another $20 gifted sub. Team Vodka, man, you're absolute savage, dude. Thank you so much, my friend. Appreciate you. Awesome. Guys, if you picked up more memberships from Team Vodka, make sure you shout out. Thank you. That's awesome, man. Appreciate your support. Look at this. Look at the aileron drooping, or the, not an aileron. There's a word for that. I'm drawing a blank. Flapperon? Flapperon? Drooping down with loss of hydraulic pressure. That is cool to see, huh? Lauren V says it's a war, indeed. All right, let's do this. So let's simulate. We did our thing, right? We do all of our onboarding. I don't know. I think this is something with my, I need to exclude jet bridges or something here for my scenery. But let's say you did your flight, your GSX, you're all done, right? And now we want to look at the replay. This is a big thing. I kind of want to see like what the, you know, how the airplane handles with replays. And I use a free flight recorder tool. It's called Flight Recorder. It's free. I think I had my master switches off when I hit that. Let's see what happens. Let's do it again. Let's activate. There we go. I have my master switches off. Let's let the airplane come back to life. And let's see how the replay handles. So APU is running. Engines gonna come on. Need engines. Did you start them manually? We'll start them manually real quick. Flight Force 77 has joined the spat with Team Vodka. Thank you, Flight Force, man. $20 super chat. Awesome. Bring him out. I got you, Vodka. Hey, thank you, Flight Force. Absolutely awesome. Thanks for the support, my friend. Really appreciate that super chat. You guys are awesome. I mean, this channel is awesome. This airplane is awesome. I'm so fortunate to be able to stream this kind of content, have you guys be so receptive. It's awesome. Let's go ahead and turn number 2. As soon as number 2 started, we'll jump into replay. Yeah, I have a GSX issue with the jetway here. I think I just forgot to exclude it. You know how you exclude payware airports or whatever? Flight Force, Team Vodka, Mike P, you guys are awesome. Thank you, guys. All right, here we go. We're starting 2. Look, you get 2 engine starts in the same stream. How about that for awesomeness? Is this the same 310 as for X-Plane? Yeah. But for free and amazing. Same, I mean, just awesome. All right, as soon as that engine is stable, let's hop into the replay. How did I bind my throttles? I'll show you right now since we're on the ground. So I had issues, it's important. I had issues calibrating my throttles with reverse on the same axes. It was like it wasn't saving. And I think iniBuilds mentioned something that they're looking into it. There could be an issue with it. So as of right now, to just not deal with it, I put reverse on throttle axis, no. And then you go to the calibration page here and you hit start. And then it'll say put thrust lever at idle, and then you would save it, and it says put thrust lever at toga, and then you would save it. So that's how you do it. If you're having an issue with thrust reverser on the same axes, I think I would just, as of right now, turn it off just as a workaround. I think that might be a potential bug, but I'm not 100% sure. So, how does she fly compared to her X-Plane 11 twin sister, Ivamo? Honestly, it's very similar. Like, it feels good. It feels, I said it earlier, I can feel the inertia. I can feel the mass. And the biggest thing for me or really is like I can feel the power, like how the power is delayed in this airplane. Really, I cannot stress this enough. Energy management in this airplane is crazy important. All right, let's hop into the replay. Let's see how it does. Typical to get that kind of alert there, but it looks like everything's up and running. Let's watch these. Let's get some replays in here. Look at that dirty texture. Jeez. Flight 477 dropping another 20. Dropping another 20. Here's another Jackson. I got you. Flight Force. Man. You're awesome, man. You're a savage. Thank you so much. Oh my God. This is awesome. Flight Force, you're awesome, dude. Thank you, man. Appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed flying the 310 around. Hope you enjoyed the flight today, the stream today. Hope you enjoyed that. Look at our flaps are coming down. Let me get this exterior sound up a little bit. There we go. Oh, man. I don't know which view to watch on this first landing. Let's watch this one on this first landing. We'll watch this view first, and then we'll watch the other ones. Mike P. Mike P will not go down without a fight. Mike P. Oops, did I drop something with a 50 super chat? Good night. This stream is this is taking a turn for the ages here. Mike P. You are a savage, my friend. Thank you, man. Not only is he gifting subs, he's super chatting. Absolutely awesome. Mike P, thank you for the 50 bones. This was great. This was great. I think he makes more at this than he does his airline. Sure did today, that's for sure. You guys are awesome. Thank you, Mike P. Flight Force, T, Vodka. Awesome. And everyone else. So there was multiple throughout the chat. You guys are all awesome. I appreciate y'all. Break is not released. Thank you. I released it now, David. Good call. Thank you. I hope I lose internet connection soon. Let's turn up the sounds a little bit more. We're going to watch this one all the way through. Oh, that had to be a butter, man. I don't know what the landing rate was. Oh. I don't know why my view got bound all wonky. Look at that. How come I lost? Oh, there's the view I wanted. That was cool. Good vibrations. The spoilers coming up. I love it when these airplanes work in replay mode like this. All right, let's watch it from back here. So resume. I'm still kind of learning. So typically, if you have the spoiler up, what I do is I kind of move my spoiler axis, and the spoilers go back down. Love to see that. Let's watch an exterior landing. Oh, this on here. Cover your ears.
200. Sync rate. 100.
We did get one sync rate there. That's on me.
60. 40. 30. 20. 10. 5.
Oh, yes. That is awesome. That is legit. Let's pause it. Let's bring it back. Bring that out of reverse detent. Resume. So then what I do here, again, to get your spoilers down, just move your spoiler axes, and then I'll rearm them, just like you would on landing. So they're rearmed, and then it should be good to go for another landing. That is cool. Guys, I was going to do a second leg, but this has just been too epic. It's been too good. I think we're going to kill it here. I might, if you're a member, if you just picked up a membership, I think we're going to have an after party for members only, short flight. We're going to go through a little bit of weather here tonight, I think. What do you say about that? What do we say? What do I say? We got 700 watching. How many likes did we get on this video? 693. Give me, if we get 700 likes here, we'll have an after party with members only. We'll fly through some weather, see if we can't get some weather radar action. I use Flight Recorder. So my replay tool is called Flight Recorder. It's free. It's on the Flight Sim TO. In my humble opinion, I think it is the best option. It's easy to use. You can save replays. You can watch them again. It's been compatible with the iniBuilds A310 that we found out now. The Phoenix 320, the PMDG works even flawlessly with it. So check it out. There's the 700th like. You guys are savages. I am going to start the sail song right now. Should have been a replay mode. But join me at the after party if you're a member. We'll be seeing you here. I'm going to have to hit the head, take a leak, and then we will I'll get something up. It'll be within the next 30 minutes or so. It'll be fun. And I'll be on VATSIM. There's the touchdown. There's the spoilers. Reverse is out. Good night. Time to rewatch this and straight to the after party, says Miggs. Miggs! Savage, man. Thank you so much for the $7 super chat. The airplane is so loud, I gotta turn it down, turn the sail up. I can't hear anything. All right, last one. I'm gonna send it all the way back. For everyone else, enjoy this. We gotta overspeed. That's normal because it's just part of the replay. Guys, iniBuilds, you are awesome. Thank you for putting the work in, the time in, getting this done with Microsoft. Thank you, Microsoft, for bringing us an awesome simulator. This has been a lot of fun. I cannot wait to fly this airplane more. I was skeptical going into the day, guys. I was skeptical. At the conclusion of this flight, I am not skeptical. You should not be skeptical either. This truly is an airplane that's living up to the hype that it is claimed, and I think you guys are going to absolutely love it and enjoy flying this airplane for many, many flights to come. So until next time, guys, if you're not a member, stay safe, stay healthy. I'm V1. If you are a member, see you at the after party. See ya!